Beautiful day. Good lagoon. Doki Doki blue skies. What am I doing? Hey yo! Welcome back to Doki Doki blue skies. This is part 5, and right now it's Christmas time, and I really don't know what's going on with like Yuri and whatnot. Hold on. 1 second. Echoing in here. Let me see. Hello? That sounds a lot better. Had to close my door, but let's load right into it. Christmas Day, or it's New Year's. Yeah, New Year's Day. So no, it's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day. What am I saying? It's Christmas Day. We're gonna see if Yuri likes our Christmas present. I really love the music here. So good. Let me turn it up just a little bit if you don't mind me. Oh, that's so pretty. Alrighty. Finally Christmas Day is upon us. It feels strange being alone in the house on such a day. Normally my parents would wake me up and we all head downstairs and have some breakfast. But today isn't a day to lament about how they aren't here. All 4 girls are coming over, and given how much fun I had in Halloween, I'm confident it would be just as enjoyable. They won't be over for a while, but I got a lot of stuff to prepare. Let's get to it. After finishing my morning routine, I find myself standing in front of the sink, idly contemplating on what to cook for everyone. Fast food is an option, but lacks a Christmas touch. So I decided to rifle up through the cabinets, hoping I can throw something tasty together. I'm still nowhere near Yuri's level, but if I keep a level head and focus on what I'm preparing, I should be okay. I've got time. Once I decided on a dish, I hunt for the relevant ingredients. Yep, looks like I've got everything. That's the salmon and seasoning sorted. Bowl, check. Pan, check. Let's give this a whirl. Okay, now to put the plastic wrap on top of it. It's open! Come on in! Sorry that I come out, but in the middle of preparing the dish, it's suddenly fiddly. That's okay, Curly. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas to you too, Monica. She sniffs the air. Smells promising so far. I chuckle. So far being the operative words then. I'm sure you'll be fine. What kinds of dishes can you make? Teriyaki salmon, which is what I made today, along with veggie stir fry and also dumplings. Not together, of course. Obviously. Would you mind getting that? She obligates and heads to the front door. 2 pairs of footsteps make their way to the kitchen, and a familiar red bow suddenly appears in my doorway. Hi guys! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas to you too, Sayori. Oof. Oh, that's the portion of the food sorted. Now to put the salmon in this some stir fry into containers so I'm free to concentrate on the next batch of food. If this tastes as good as it smells, I think we'll all be in a real treat. I'm glad you think so. Sorry that this isn't particularly Christmassy. So this is what you're making, huh? Eh? Natsuki, when did you get here? I didn't hear you come in. Someone left it open. Oops, sorry. Typical. Much like Monica, Natsuki also pauses and sniffs the air. Not bad, not bad. You've got a long way to go to reach my level, though. We'll see. Well, make sure you don't screw it up. I'll do my best. The doorbell rings, and both Sayori and Natsuki slink out the room to answer it. That must be Yuri. And that's everything done. Time to take it out to the living room. Hey Yuri, Merry Christmas. Oh, look at her little black jacket. So adorable. Merry Christmas to you too. No, that's not Yuri's voice. Merry Christmas to you too, Curly. She glances over at the dishes I've just carried over to the table. My, it seems like your cooking skills have improved quite a bit. I have to thank you for that. Although, I was tempted to get some takeaway, I'm glad I took the chance to actually cook a real Christmas meal. Either way, thanks for teaching me. I didn't even dream about making this sort of stuff before I met you. Oh no, you're just a quick learner, that's all. If you say so. Anyway, everything's ready, so right on cue, the other girls wander over.
Okay, everyone, let's get the table set. I'm sure you're all as eager to dig in as I am.
Yo! Welcome back to the stream.
Yep.
That makes 4 of us. Yeah, just came in. Just started literally moments ago. I just finished making the food. All the girls came in and we're sitting down and eating. Well, here's the moment of truth. Dig in, guys. There's plenty to spare too. I wait with the slight anticipation as the girls start serving themselves. This is the first time I made food for multiple people, so I've got absolutely no idea what to expect for the reactions to be.
Curly.
Yeah? Please don't tell me I messed it up. She swallows loudly and grins at me.
This is really good. I'm not really big on fish, but this salmon is so tasty. She's right, Curly. I'm pleasantly surprised, I didn't peg you as a chef when you first joined. I guess you did alright, yeah.
Well, she says that, but she's practically... Bro, already? Oh my lord. I haven't gotten a chance to check. Well, she says that, but she's practically inhaling her food. So far, 3 out of 4. But the one I'm most anxious for to hear from. Yuri? Her eyes close and she slowly chews her food. We all turn towards her. Mr. Beast, that's.
Mr. Beast.
She goes bright red and turns away. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
This is excellent. Eating here like this reminds me of past Christmas that I spent with my family.
Yeah, I know how you feel. This is the first Christmas I've spent without either of my parents. So, I'm really glad that you guys are here. I'd be really lonely otherwise.
Well, we're here for you, Curly. I love when we all meet up after school. We always have so much fun.
Yes, I noticed immediately. No, of course not. Why would you ever think that, bud? Ouch.
Yeah, Halloween was really fun. It was hilarious to see how much chicken Sayori and Curly are.
Hey, I'm still convinced that I heard footsteps in that creepy voice.
Who knows? Maybe that the Shinto spirit is still roaming in that classroom looking for the unlucky victims.
Don't worry, I enjoy your presence. I'm glad you're here.
Monica! It's Christmas, not Halloween. Can we not talk about that sort of stuff here? Sorry, Sayori.
Monica turns to me.
So Curly, when did you learn how to cook? You said Yuri helped you, right?
Hey, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a blast playing it. She taught me the basic stuff for a few months ago, and the rest just happened to be practice and trial through error. Given how I was able to pick it up, maybe you should ask her for advice as well, Sayori. If I remember correctly, aren't you still a junk food connoisseur?
Hey, so are you.
Can't deny that. But still. I'd be happy to teach you how to cook some basic meals, Sayori.
Yeah, maybe.
So long as we have spare fire extinguisher around, I'm pretty sure we'll be fine.
Hey!
Everyone laughs, well, everyone except Sayori, who sports a petulant-looking punt. I'm just messing with you, Sayori. I reach out affectionately to tussle her hair. After a few more minutes, everyone finishes eating their food and looks like time for the main event. Anyway, guys, now that everyone's eating their food, we can move on to the part you've all been waiting for.
Who made you the game show host? I like it. Makes today exciting.
You're referring to presents, I assume. You bet I am.
Hang on, Curly. Would you like some help putting the dishes away?
Nah, that's fine. I'll get them later.
Are you sure? It's no bother.
Positive. Come on, guys. This should be a lot of fun. After briefly heading upstairs to grab Yuri's present, I speed back downstairs and straight to the living room. Looks like everyone's already had theirs.
Okay, guys. Everyone's here, so let's begin. I'm so excited to see what everyone got for each other. So who's going first? I will.
Sayori pulls out a package and hands it towards Monica.
Aw, from our very own vice president. Let's see what you got me.
A smile illuminates her features as she unwraps her present. Inside lies a smart-looking diary combined with a stylish-looking pen.
You're always writing stuff down and so organized, so I thought you might really be useful. Do you like it? Of course I do, Sayori. Thank you. This is really thoughtful.
The two girls share a wide smile as they embrace each other. Well, we're off to a wholesome start.
I don't know if you knew, but my last planner is pretty much full, so your timing...
Sayori! Welcome back!
So your timing couldn't be any better. Thank you once again. You're welcome!
Nice gift picking, Sayori. Really nice.
I suppose it's my turn, so here you are, Natsuki.
She hands her a small wrapped box over the small pink-haired girl. With a look of anticipation and surprise on her face, Natsuki moves the box onto the table.
Jeez, this is pretty heavy. What is it? That would be telling you, wouldn't it? Open it and find out.
Let me save it. I did not. I have not kissed Yuri yet. Not yet, at least. Not yet. It's coming soon. That I can promise. Natsuki hastily obliges and look at her face goes from anticipation to shock. For a moment she's just there, staring the newly unwrapped gift. From what I can tell, it's a mixer, the kind of one used for bakers.
This looks super expensive.
Her voice has dropped to a whisper.
Don't mention it. You mentioned a while back your old one broke, so it seemed like a new one would be useful. But this is particularly like the newest model, so how could you, I mean, it's really so expensive. Like I said, don't worry about it. It wasn't an issue in the slightest. Although next time we have a club meeting, I'm expecting a ton of cupcakes.
Monica winks at her.
Jeez, thank you, Monica.
I think this is the softest I've ever heard Natsuki's voice.
It should be a piece of cake with this mixer, so I can definitely make loads for everyone. That's what I want to hear. Anyway, this is for you, Sayori.
She reaches behind her and pulls out a small wrapped box next to Yuri. I'm looking forward to see what Sayori's reaction is going to be. Sayori's eyes lighten up as she takes the box from Natsuki's hands. Her excitability from receiving presents hasn't changed at all since she was a child.
Ooh, what is it? What is it?
And before Natsuki can even say anything, Sayori pulls out the wrapping paper.
Ooh, a new bow! I love the color! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you! No problem.
Sayori lurches over and attempts to give Natsuki a hug, although upon contact, the younger girl flinches away, pushing Sayori away from her.
Hey, you know I don't like hugs, Sayori. Oh, sorry, I just got a bit carried away. Anyway, check what's on the bow.
Sayori obliges and brings the bow up to her eye level.
Oh, there's something written on here. Happy thoughts. Yeah, I remember a couple times over the past few months where you seemed kinda down, so I thought I'd use some of your lines with your poem to remind you to smile more. Things don't seem right when you act weird, so I hope this is a good reminder. Thank you.
She looks around the room.
I didn't mean to make you all worry.
Hey, we all have our day, Sayori. If anything comes up, feel free to talk to us. She nods her head. Hey yo, welcome back to the stream. So far, it's Christmas Day, and we everybody's eating and we're just handing out presents. And actually, I'm about to give Yuri's hers.
Hang on a second. By the process of elimination, it looks like Yuri and Kali got each other.
Monica looks between Yuri and I with a knowing a smirk on her face.
That turned out to be rather convenient for you two, didn't it?
Oh, yes, it appears that we did. What are the chances? Anyway, here you go, Yuri. With slight anticipation, I give her my present. She extends her hand out and hands me mine, causing us to unwrap our presents at the same time. Is this what I think it is? It's a tea set with a kettle, a very Yuri present for sure. Yes, it's a tea set. I thought you would like it, especially when we read together. Plus, it comes with a few different types of tea, so I thought you could experiment a little. Yuri, this is really thoughtful of you. I'd love to try new flavors with you. So yeah, once again, thank you. Ain't no way. Is the cutie pie in the chat? Hey, May May. Yuri 3 looks relieved, like she's not used to giving presents to the other people. Anyway, what do you make of my gift?
Oh, sorry, I was just... My, Curly, this is gorgeous. What is it? Looks like a teapot. A really fancy one, mind you.
Yep, that's precisely what it is. Because it's fun. And it has a lot of mods too, so I can play different versions of this, which is pretty cool. It's like different games in one. It's basically a dating sim game. The one I was playing before had horror in it though, but this one is more a little wholesome, so I really like it. Yeah, that's precisely what it is. I was going with the book at first, but I didn't want to know which books you already read or not.
Alrighty.
Thank you for coming to the chat, May May. Love you. So that was a risk, and I didn't want to take it. So I thought, well, let's think outside the box a little, you know? I thought of a design on the teapot works really, really nice, and kind of reminded me of you. Okay, that sounded a lot less romantic in my head and with everyone else listening too. Anyway, I know you like tea, so I thought this would be a safe bet.
That's very thoughtful of you, Curly.
I keep doing the wrong voice, and it's throwing me off sometimes.
Not only is the design wonderful, but you clearly had my interest in mind when you bought it.
She's quiet for a moment or two. The other girls look around at each other. No one is quite sure what to say. Well, I'm glad you like it, Yuri. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Curly.
To my surprise, she scoots closer towards me and tentatively wraps her arms around me. The motion surprised me at first, but I quickly leaned back into her and her touch enveloping my arms as well. A pleasant scent of mint and lavender fills my nose. He's coming back! By the comfortable warmth in Yuri's touch radiates. For a moment, I'm lost with her embrace. A strong, strangely familiar feeling rests in my heart and courses through my entire body. It makes me forget that other people are in the room. An awkward throat clearing pulls me away from Yuri.
So, what's next?
Truth be told, I didn't really plan this far ahead. I thought everyone would want to go home after exchanging presents, but if you guys want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. I got some board games we can play.
Yeah, that sounds fun. They better not be boring.
How about this? I pull out a box, one illustrated in the image as a large brain. Sayori immediately brightens up.
Oh, we haven't played this in a while. Cranium. Given the variety of talent in the room, I reckon it'll be a great pick. What's this? I've never tried it before.
Me neither. Don't worry, the basics are pretty simple to pick up. I'm confident you'll pick everything up quickly. Even you, Natsuki.
What do you mean? Anyway, let's start, guys.
Chuckling at the irritated Natsuki face, I pulled a small table towards me and set the board down, along with the playing cards. It's pretty straightforward, guys. You see? Roll the dice, and you'll land on a colored square. Whenever you land on a square, you'll have to draw a card, and completely actively written on it. The activities are split by color, so the blue represents drawing or sculpting with this clay, and the green is when you have to perform something.
Perform?
Don't worry, it's nothing like crazy like this one. I'll take a quick look at a green card. You just have to partner with somebody, hum this song, and they've got 60 seconds to guess it. And don't worry, there are some word-based ones so you're in luck.
Yeah, this board game is super fun, guys. There's something fun for everyone. This actually looks kind of cool.
I told you. Now let's start. As I was hoping, the game is proving to be a big hit. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, meaning no one has a disadvantage or a big advantage. It's fairly even so far, and everyone's enjoying it. It's currently Yuri's turn, and she throws a dice, which lands on the color yellow.
Word worm again.
Lucky you, eh? Just in case, let's save it. Okay, here's your challenge. I lean forward to take a yellow card from the card box. I'm going to give you a word, and you have 40 seconds to spell it.
That should hopefully be enough time.
Ah, but there's a catch. You gotta spell it backwards, and on your first try.
Well, this is certainly ups the ante, doesn't it?
She takes a deep breath.
Okay, I'm ready. What's my word?
With my hand ready to flip the small timer, I read the word aloud. Pavlovian. Pavlovian.
Ooh, that's hard.
Immediately, Yuri's face takes a look at looks intensive concentration.
N-A-I.
Yep, keep going.
V.
She looks at the clock. About 10 seconds already tick by.
O-L.
Doing well.
V.
More seconds tick by. It looks like about 30 seconds have gone by.
A-P. Yay! That's right! You're so smart, Yuri. Jeez, I'm not gonna lie. That's not half bad.
You're too kind. I simply had an easy word, that's all.
Have some pride in yourself, Yuri. You did well.
Anyway, you passed, so you get to roll again. I just hope I don't get a green. The look on her face when she indeed lands on green is priceless.
Oh, hang on. I've got it. Tennis elbow. Yes.
Her eyes fly open right as the timer runs out of the sand. Natsuki's blue activity involved her drawing a phrase, but the catch was that she had to do it with her eyes closed. Personally, I was a little dubious over her picking Sayori as the teammate who had to guess, but hey, she got it there in the end. Look at the elbow. Looks floppy and strand of spaghetti.
As if you can even draw with your eyes open.
Whatever you say, spaghetti arms.
Hey Natsuki, why don't you roll again?
Sayori's always tactical for the best moments.
Seriously, right again?
Not much fun with the data hit questions, eh?
It would be if it was actually more answerable. I mean, who would believe that Theodore Roosevelt named his son Kermit?
Miss Piggy? Sayori and Monica laugh at Natsuki's scoff.
Your New Year's resolution should begin. Your New Year's resolution should be to get a better sense of humor.
I don't know. Looks like it's working fine so far. I gesture to the two laughing girls.
Whatever, just give me my card.
Here you go.
Well, this one's multiple choice, Elise.
What's it say?
In the legal field, what does a pre-jury mean? Deliberately not turning up to court, deliberately telling a lie under oath, or attempting to bribe a judge or jury. How the hell am I supposed to know this?
Aren't there any names for animes that involve trials or something?
Why would I watch that? That sounds really boring. Anyway, sheesh, I don't know.
Well, you got 10 seconds to make a decision, so just, take a guess.
C.
She flips the card over.
E. Come on, who'd know that?
I did.
Big surprise that is. Don't worry, I didn't know either.
Tut. You guys really need to brush up on your words in Latin. Yeah.
Yeah, cause we're really living in the Middle Ages, aren't we?
Grumbling, Natsuki sets the card back on the pack. After a while, the game eventually winds down to a close. It definitely comes between Monica and Yuri. Monica Muscle's abilities have proven to be useful in the star performer category, where the user had to hum and sing a tune, and the others have to guess. Yuri, on the other hand, excelled in the word-based activities. She rarely got one of them wrong. After our 10th final round, Yuri eventually pulls through and is declared the winner. Even though Natsuki, Sayori, and I didn't really have much of a chance of winning, it was still enjoyable to play and watch the showdown between Monica and Yuri.
Phew, that was close, Monica. It certainly was. Well played, Yuri.
Despite being a loser, Monica accepts her defeat gracefully, sportsmanship and at its finest.
I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun. We should definitely play this more often. Yeah, hearing you frantically hum those tunes was really funny. And you guys had all the honor seeing my awesome drawings.
I stretch and yawn, hearing the satisfying click of my joints, as I do. Time really does fly. Yeah, anytime you guys want to play, just give me a buzz. This has been really a fun Christmas. There's a general murmur of agreements as we all start cleaning up. Thankfully, there aren't too many pieces, so the task is relatively easy.
You know, Curly, you kind of remind me of Yuri.
Huh? What do you mean?
You guys both have a really deep look in your eyes when you start focusing on stuff. It looks a bit weird, but it suits you.
I do? Monica nods.
I noticed as well. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing. Although, it's rather uncanny to see such a deep look on someone's face that isn't Yuri. It's something I've grown to associate only with her.
With everyone's attention on me, I'm not really sure how to respond to that. It's true I've been spending time with Yuri a lot as of late, but...
Well, I think he looks enduring when he looks like that. I mean... Oh. Well, duh, of course you think that. You two are pretty much together like all the time now.
Well, this conversation has taken a fast detour to hot waters.
Speaking of which, I'm curious. Are you two officially going out?
Monica! The intense blush of Yuri's face mirrors her own feelings. Why did Monica have to put her on the spot like that?
We aren't.
Both of our faces are practically on fire. While it's true we aren't boyfriend and girlfriend, I definitely wouldn't mind if we were.
Don't worry about it. I was just teasing you. Anyway, I think everything is packed, so I'm gonna get going before it's late after all. Thank you again for the gift, Sayori. Oh, you're welcome, Monica. I should probably get going as well. Yeah, same. See you all soon. Bye, guys. Yeah, see ya.
Y'all look curiously at Yuri.
Sticking around a bit, Yuri?
Huh?
Yes, I wanted a cup of tea if that's okay.
She looks imploringly at me. Yeah, that's cool. I'll put the board game away, so feel free to make yourself home in the kitchen. The other girls depart, leaving an awkward silence between me and Yuri. At least it's cut short by her excusing herself. After carefully checking that everything's in the rightful place, I slot the board game back into position in the cupboard. Hey Yuri, don't worry about that stuff. She'd taken the plates and was process of washing them as I entered the kitchen.
Oh no, you were kind enough to serve us, so the least I can do.
Are you sure? I'm the host, so I shouldn't really be making you do this.
It's really no bother.
Well, if you insist. Still, you gotta let me help, okay? She nods as I roll up my sleeves and put some rubber gloves on. We wash the dishes together, slowly inching closer until our shoulders are practically touching. A comfortable silence descends upon us. A silence that I'm surprised Yuri breaks first.
It feels strange, spending Christmas with people other than my family.
First time? She nods slowly. Parents not coming around for Christmas this year, huh?
You could say that, yes. My mother would usually make teriyaki salmon and turkey, and we'd follow it through with a cake. Vanilla or milk chocolate was always the family's firm favorite.
Oh shoot, I should have gotten a dessert. I knew I forgot something. I'm sorry, Yuri, it totally slipped my mind. Let me save it. She smiles softly.
Please don't worry about it. The fact that you cooked for me and everyone else today was more than I could have asked for.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I had no idea how the food would turn out, so this is reassuring to hear. Good thing I had a good teacher, huh? I playfully nudge her with my elbow, causing her to blush.
It was nothing.
Her blush remains as we carry on washing the dishes in silence.
Hey, Curly?
Yeah?
I don't know how to put this, so I apologize if this sounds out of the blue, but I really enjoy spending time with you.
The soft, vulnerable way she said it catches me off guard. I enjoy spending time with you too, Yuri. The last of the dishes has been cleaned, but we don't move apart. Anything, we grow a little closer. By the way,
Yes?
what exactly are we?
What do you mean?
You know, when we were cleaning up just now with the others. They asked if we were, well, my god, asking her directly is proving to be exceptionally difficult.
I don't know. I've never felt this way about someone before.
Yeah, me neither.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Make this awkward. She laughed softly at this proximity. I can feel her warm breath on my face. It sends shivers down my spine, but not the unpleasant kind.
No, you don't need to apologize. It's a valid question. I guess I just don't know how to answer it.
At this point, my heart is thumping out of my chest. Is this really happening with Yuri? I guess we don't need all the answers now. After all, I like what we have.
I do too.
Oh my gosh. Is this what I think is gonna be? We both turned toward each other, causing me to drown in eyes. Those deep pool of violet, so mysterious and enticing. The scent of lavender and jasmine oil permeates my nose, filling with the scent of pleasant at the sight in front of me. Bro, is this what I think it's gonna be? Tentatively, I find myself reaching out to gently stroke her cheek and a brush of her lock of her hair. She closes her eyes briefly, exhales onto my fingers. This feels just so right. We come closer and closer to each other. Every nerve burns with anticipation. I can almost feel her on my lips. On my... what's that noise? We break up. Fuck!
Bro, I was so close. I was so close, brother. Why? Who's knocking on my door?
I was so close. Why? We break apart. The moment is all but gone. Who is it?
I forgot my present. Sorry.
Irritation. Sawyer pops into the kitchen, and judging by the look of surprise on her face, she definitely didn't expect this. With the start, I realized Yuri and I had... No! Sayori! I could have just brought it back later. I love Sayori. She's such a nice, fun character. She's like my best friend, but fuck! With the start, I realized Yuri and I still have arms around each other. As I take my arms away from her waist, she quickly removes her from my shoulders. Sayori's expression dims with what looks like sadness. It's replaced with in a flash though. Did I just imagine it?
Sorry, guys. Found it.
She picks up the bow from the kitchen counter. Why it was there is beyond me.
By the way, Yuri, do you want to walk home with me?
Yuri quickly looks at me. It's almost pleading. The moment is gone, so I bitterly nod.
Oh, sure.
After carefully scooping up the teapot and she heads to the hallway, Sayori is already lingering outside.
Sorry.
It's okay, Yuri. It's not your fault. Fuck! Oh, fuck, bro. I was so close. I was so close. I could almost taste it. It's okay, Yuri. It's not your fault. Besides, we can just hang out on New Year's Eve, right?
Yes. Oh, I mean, yes, of course. I'd like that.
I can't help but smile to myself. Even though we were on the verge of kissing, she's still self-conscious about it. How eager is she to want to spend time with me? We'll make it happen. Don't worry. With one last quick hug, she follows Yuri out, leaving me to process what just happened. It might sound cheesy, but true happiness at Christmas doesn't come from material things, does it? Sayori, bruh. I love you, Sayori, but why? I could have almost tasted it. I was so close. December 31st, the last day of the year. As I push myself up, My gaze floats across my room. It looks exactly the same, save for the tea set on my desk. In a strange way, it's like Yuri's presence is always with me. A strange feeling courses through me as well as I recall the shy, nervous look on her face as she handed me the gift. A feeling which only grows stronger as I recall the quiet, intimate moment we had that was one after all the girls left. It's definitely not an unpleasant feeling, but it does feel confusing. I feel warm inside, but it's still a foreign sensation. What exactly are Yuri and I? Parts of me wants me to take Yuri out on a date, but well, I don't know what to do. Taking her out for coffee or tea seems so basic. But she likes tea though, right? So maybe it's not such a bad idea after all. Having finished my morning routine, I find myself sitting at the kitchen table idly scrolling through my phone. Maybe some fresh air will help me place my thoughts at ease. That's much better. The air's a little biting, but I'm wrapped warm, so it feels more like a refreshing coolness. Unfortunately, I left my gloves at home, so my hands are being subjected to the full wrath of December air. Man, it'd be nice to have Yuri's hands to warm mine. Maybe I should just ask her to be my girlfriend. I mean, despite her being unsure of what we were, it's obvious that she likes me, right? How do you ask though? Hi Yuri, I like you and I think you like me too, so do you want to be my girlfriend? Nah, that sounds childish. Sayori and I used to say stuff like that to each other when we were little. A white bow coming from into my peripheral vision snaps me into inner turmoil.
Hey Curly, I didn't expect to see you. Looks like you're going out for a walk.
Oh, hey Monica. Yeah, I was just in the mood for some fresh air, so here I am.
Do you have any plans for New Year's?
Kind of. I used to watch the fireworks on TV with my parents, but they're not around this year. So I guess I could watch them at home. I choose not to divulge the fact that I'm stuck for dates ideas, well, at least not yet. Monica studies my face for a second. Her gaze feels like an x-ray and it feels like she's looking directly into my mind.
Say, Curly, would you say that fireworks can be described as romantic?
Yeah, forget Paris or the Eiffel Tower exploding gunpowder and pyrotechnics are what comes to mind when something says romantic. I laugh, but her smirk doesn't move.
If I were interested in someone, I think taking them to see fireworks for New Year's would be the perfect way to start a relationship.
Monica's being quite goated right now, I'm not gonna even lie. Huh? Where is this coming from?
Come on, Curly, you can't be this dense. There's a firework display in town. If you head to the Skytree Tower, you'll be guaranteed an amazing view. They start at 10 and finish at midnight. You do have a book, but it's only like 430 yen. Nice way to start the new year if you ask me.
She winks at me. Well, I suppose there's no sense in hiding it or trying to be naive. Yuri and I were pretty obvious during Christmas Day.
Trust me when I say you should take her.
You think?
I know. I've seen you two, how you've been acting for the past few months. And to be honest, it's about time you two got together.
Have we really been that obvious? A smile is my only answer. I sigh. Anyway, what about you? What are you up to today? Don't suppose I'll see you under the fireworks tonight? Maybe with some hotshot tennis player? I nudge her, but to my surprise, she doesn't even smile. It's only when I probably look at her do I see the bags under her eyes. She snorts diversely.
I don't think there's a chance.
Fuck.
I don't think there's much of a chance of that happening.
Even her voice sounds a little drained.
I've been busy.
With what? She hesitates for a moment and looks aside for the moment.
Just my parents' business. It's nothing I can't handle.
Well, just make sure not to push yourself, okay? I know you're a president and all, but everyone needs a break. I feel kind of bad knowing that you're encouraging Yuri and I spending together, but it feels like you can't even relax yourself. She looks at me in surprise written all over her face.
Thank you, Curly. Your concern is appreciated. I'll try to bear that in mind.
She briefly checks her watch.
It's that time already? I've gotta go, unfortunately. Need to pick some stuff up for the shops for my parents. Catch you later, Curly.
See you, Monica, and thanks for the fireworks suggestion. She smiles and waves. leaving me to ponder her current life situation. I just hope she'll be okay. Well, Monica's in my focus right now anyway. I dig on my phone to navigate to Yuri. Hey Yuri.
Good afternoon, Curly. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. My fingers hesitate over the screen. Are you busy tonight?
I think I'm free. Why?
Another bout of hesitation. Come on, Curly, she likes you too. Did you want to check out the fireworks with me tonight? Monica mentioned we can go to a Skytree tower. I can see Yuri typing a message, but the second that ticks feels like hours. And an awful lot is resting upon those 3 dots.
I'd love to.
Yes, sir! Bag acquired.
What time do they start? The feeling of relief coursing through my body feels like much lighter. I wasn't even nervous. Monica said they start around 10. So would you like to come over a bit earlier? We can hang out and then go from my house.
Of course. Is it okay if I come at 7? There's a few errands I need to run.
Sure thing. I'll see you at 7 then.
I look forward to it.
Not the smiley face. She's gonna make me act a fool.
Anyways, she making that brother blush a little bit. Know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She making me smile. Made me have a little butterflies in my stomach. Well, all things considered, that could have gone a lot worse. Although, I'm relieved. I can't help but feel apprehensive about tonight. I mean, a date with Yuri? Under the fireworks? On New Year's Day? We almost kissed last time, and now there won't be anyone to interrupt us. Oh man, I really hope I don't mess up our first kiss. Maybe I should Google it. I'll laugh as I slip my phone back into my pocket. Man, I really need to get rid of these Christmas decorations. I'll do it tomorrow. Besides, I don't think Yuri will mind. It's been a few hours since I got back from my walk. Since then, I decided to cook some more salmon teriyaki. And I still had a surplus of ingredients from Christmas Day. I'm still surprised my own cooking prowess. The days of ready meals and unhealthy snacks seem so long ago. It's safe to say that Yuri's definitely changed my life. For the better. I jumped slightly around the sound of my doorbell ringing. Wow, is it 7 already? Looks like our date is already upon us. Stay calm, Curly, stay calm. With one last quick, deep breath, I swing the door open.
Good evening, Curly.
Yuri, hey! Without thinking, I dart forward and wrap my arms for a hug. The sudden action catches Yuri off guard. That much is obvious how she's startled. She eases into the gesture. I tentatively slides her arms around me. She smells wonderful and feels so warm.
Not that I'm complaining, but what brought this on?
It's only as we break apart my brain finally catches up. I don't think I've ever been so forward with Yuri before. Did I really just do that? Sorry, I don't know. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable.
No, it's okay. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You're quite a good hugger, Curly.
I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. You too. Anyway, come on in. She smiled gracefully and steps into the hallway, closing the door behind her.
So, we have 3 hours until the fireworks start. What would you like to do in the meantime?
That is a good question. We normally read book or cook, right? Well, I've already made some teriyaki and I don't think you have any books right now. She nods. How about we try VN?
VN?
Oh, sorry. It's a visual novel.
A visual novel?
Yeah, are you familiar with them?
Yes, I am, although I can't say I've tried them myself. They're essentially text-based stories that you play as a computer or video game, correct? With art such as sprites?
Uh-huh. I guess they're kind of like a halfway point between traditional methods of storytelling preferring manga that Naki likes.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
She doesn't look as enthusiastic compared to when we talk about normal books, which is a shame. You don't look too keen.
Oh, I don't? Sorry, I didn't mean to look bored or anything.
She takes a moment to compose herself.
Let's give it a try, Curly. I believe it will do me well to try a new medium of storytelling. And I shouldn't dismiss it just because it's different to what I'm used to. So, what did you have in mind?
Well, I know how much a good story means to you, so I've got just the VN. Basically, it's about a bunch of students who get locked in a school, and the only way to escape is kill someone. and not to get caught in the class trials. And after that happens, it's a murder. Trust me, it's full of twists, and I want to see if someone as smart as analytic as you can figure out who the murderers are in the case. It really raises a lot of questions about the links and people who will go to survive, and the characters are fantastically written.
A murder mystery. Are there any horror elements by chance?
Unfortunately not. It can get quite tense, and some of the characters are fairly creepy though. Trust me, even without horror, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it.
Okay then. I'll trust you on that. Let's go.
Nearly 2 hours have passed since I introduced Yuri to the game. Needless to say, it's proven to be a large hit with her. A surprise to be sure, but not an unwelcome one. You just reached the second trial, and although Yuri was keen to press on to find out who the killer in the chapter was, we have to get a move on.
A true predicament. Do you risk permanently blackening your conscience in the name of freedom, or can your act be excused on such circumstances? Obviously, murder is wrong, and outside of self-defense, never tolerated in society. But it's safe to say that in those walls, the regular rules of society don't apply.
Somehow, I knew you'd like it. Anyway, we should probably get going soon. Oh, I almost forgot. For the fireworks, you have to book online. Could you search the tower online? She complies with the within the minute the appropriate number on the screen. Anyway, I need to run to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back in a second. A day with Yuri under the fireworks. This is really sound like a stereotype. To my surprise, however, Yuri was sitting there awkwardly twirling her phone in her hands. Yuri. Did you ring them? I kinda assumed you, would, given that I went to the bathroom.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Well, I know that she had struggled with talking to people face to face, but over the phone as well? I encourage her to call. Hey, I know it might be a little daunting. I don't think anyone enjoys talking over the phone to a stranger, but I know you can do this.
Really? I must look so stupid.
You don't. Talking to people is hard for you, so maybe I shouldn't have suggested it.
No, I think you're right. I can do this.
Just in case I gotta return this. I give her an encouraging smile. Of course you can. She touched the phone number. You got this.
Hello? I'd like to book a slot for the Skytree Tower for 2, please.
She looks over at me and I smile and nod in affirmation. The rest of the phone calls on fairly uneventfully. Aside from the odd stutter, it was pretty much flawless, on Yuri's part at least. See? That wasn't so bad, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I did stutter a lot.
It was barely noticeable. Everything sorted?
Yes, we'll give them the money when we arrive.
Sounds good. I know that wasn't very easy for you, Yuri, but I want you to know that I'm proud of you, okay?
Thank you. I'm glad that I did it as well.
It's cold outside. At least the snow's gone, though. A soft warmth slowly makes my way over to my cold hands. I quickly noticed the warmth coming from a very embarrassed, blushing Yuri.
You don't mind, do you? I figured with our combined heat, we could...
She moves to withdraw her hands, but I hold firm. It's okay. Your hands feel very warm, and I like being able to do this with you. I swallow as a tiny bead of sweat forms on my forehead. Yuri smiles bashfully, but she keeps her hand locked around mine.
I've never held hands with somebody before.
What about your parents? Well, obviously I held hands with them, but... I mean, this kind of sense. Ah, of course. This kind of sense, neither of us know what it is. But to be honest, it feels nice. So, why bother questioning it? Same. A quiet, comfortable silence fall between us. How is that something as simple as basic as holding someone's hand can make you feel so warm and content inside? This isn't the only new feeling I've had, to be honest. Spending time with you over the past few months has proven to be a novel experience in many ways. How so?
It might sound rather sad.
I tenderly rub my thumb over the back of Yuri's hand. You can say it, Yuri. There's no judgment here.
The feeling of having a friend, knowing there's someone out there who actually cares about me and wants to spend time with me, is something I've never really felt before.
Huh? Really? Not even with the other club members? Oh, I'm friend with the girls, of course. But I was trying to say, well, our friendship feels a lot deeper than what the bonds I have to those three. I get along with Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica. We can talk about things, but she looks away. With you, it feels like you truly want to be my friend. I feel like I can count on you. More so, I can count on the others. Not to say I don't value them or anything. Nah, I think I know what you're saying. Like, I'm friends with them as well, but I do feel a connection with you that I don't have with the others. Even with Sayori, which is saying something. You really mean that? Of course I do. But I find it strange that I'm your first, like, proper friend. I'd have some thought someone like you would have plenty of close friendships. Someone like me? Yeah, someone so kind, so thoughtful, intelligent, and so interesting. She smiled sadly. You too, kind Curly. I just wish other people see me the way you do. Just in case. Before I have a chance to pursue somewhat mysterious sentence and any further, Yuri nudges me and points me toward the building. This is the tower, yes? Oh, it is. Let's head inside and pay before we head up. After what felt like a billion flights of steps, we finally made it to the top. Yuri is huffing as much as I am, which makes me chuckle slightly. Looks like we're both unfit as each other. Wow. The view up here is so incredible. As I gaze to the edge, I'm afforded a lovely view of the entire city. The small pinpricks of yellow light contrast beautifully against the darkness of sky. Yuri walks over to the edge of the balcony. Her face lights up in awe as she takes in the sights and honestly, it's hard to tell what's more beautiful. I take my place next to her instinctively, and I reach for her hand. The shyness in her face is still detectable, but a newfound sense of confidence has always taken its place. Looking over the city with Yuri's hand in mine makes me feel nostalgic in a way. Almost like I'm looking over every memory, every moment, every event of my life. It's rare that I feel this contemplative and reflective, but there's no denying how enjoyable it feels. Getting lost in thought, idly thinking about anything and everything. It's mental bliss that resonates perfectly within the girl that I'm standing next to. Curly? Her voice is soft and gentle, as if sensing the immersion of the moment that we don't want to be disrupted. Do you ever think that all the decisions you've made, all of the actions you've taken, all the things you've said, all the friendships and bonds you've made? Sometimes, it's not often, but like these makes me reflective. I like to do the same. All of the choices, decisions, and actions that makes us who we are today. Are you happy with the choices you've made? Right now? Definitely. Are you? She looks away for a moment. I think it's safe to say that everyone has their regrets. Things they could have done differently, which would have produced a better result. Things that they wish they didn't say in an argument. Things they wish they told people while they couldn't. But I think people forget about the things they're happy with. The things they'd never trade the world for. And she takes a deep breath. This moment is definitely one of them. She scoots closer to me at this point. Our hips are touching, and the attractive scent of perfume wafts in my nose. Oh, the temptation to just to grab her and kiss her right now. I agree 100%, Yuri. The things I regret too. The past year hasn't been great. With the divorce and loneliness. I turned to face her. Well, all that is in the past now. Now I'm up here, holding hands with a beautiful girl, ready to celebrate a new year. An intense blush covers Yuri's face, and she looks away for a moment or two. When she looks back at me, there's a coy smile on her face. I never knew you were romantic, Hugh. I never knew you were this romantic, Hugh. We steadily move closer and closer. I could feel her warm breath on my face. Is this it? Is this it? Closer, closer until... Bang! Fuck! Why are you denying me this game? I don't understand. Why are you denying? I've done everything right. Why? Why must you deny me? My fruit that I've
seeded and planted and grew.
The loud sound of fireworks going off makes us both jump. The familiar feeling of disappointment returns, but only for a moment. The intense colors of fervent display on the first round of fireworks are too good to ignore. Oh my lord, look at this! This once dark sky explodes into life, illuminated by a magnificent display of red, yellow, green, and blue, all fighting for a dominance in the canvas in the night sky. Look at me being poetic! As the sounds roar, Yuri slides into me, and I realize the back of her head on my neck as she looking up dazzling in display. Despite the loudness, the brightness, and the pyrotechnics, they don't at all feel overwhelming. In a way, it feels like they're our fireworks, our own celebration of not just the new year, but a personal celebration of the newfound relationship between Yuri and I. With the rainbow of colors dancing across the atmosphere, it's hard to believe that the skies are empty dark blue just a few moments ago. I can even see the side of me reflected in Yuri's violet eyes. Another color I can get lost in.
These are breathtaking. I've never seen New Year's fireworks before, but only on television. I feel like I'm up here with them.
I knew it was worth the intense cardio to get up here. Which one's your favorite?
Oh, there's so many good choices. I love that little purple one. It's not big or bold as some of the other ones.
Not yet! The freaking fireworks, bro! But it's a sight to behold on its own right. I figured you'd say the purple one. It's a good choice. I'm a sucker for the big ones though. The way they shoot up and explode, it makes it worth the wait. A smaller firework whizzes by, moving horizontally across the sky. Another one whizzes frantically in a spiral, shooting luminous light as it goes. Another takes the form of a shooting star, leaving the glistening trail in its wake. I was so close, bro! And then the fireworks popped off, and then we both jumped.
Ah, did you see that one, Curly? I love how it's meant to emulate a shooting star. It must be so fun to design fireworks, knowing that your creations will awe and amaze people.
There's almost a childlike sense of playfulness in her voice, the kind I normally associate with Sayori. It's refreshing to see her pure and innocent joy of hers. Eventually, the fireworks start to wear off. With one last hog, the explosion of yellow lights flicker out, leaving the night sky to remain empty once more. Worth it, huh?
Definitely. Oh, Curly, that perhaps was the best way to start off the new year. Thank you for everything.
Now that the show's over, we pretty much back to where we were before we got interrupted. Is this it? Come on, please tell me this is it. Come on now. With my heart hammering away, my face inches closer and closer to Yuri's, and this time I know full well there won't be anything to get in the way. I close my eyes as I feel warm, soft lips of my own. Let's go! The feeling is indescribable. It feels just so right. Her pace is slow and passionate, and I'm able to easily match her rhythm. Yuri hums contentedly as I hold her hips and pull her closer. Her hands are linked around the back of my neck, pulling me into the kiss. I gently rest my hands on her neck and the side of her face. The softness on her skin matches the softness of her lips. After a while, we eventually break apart with the face this close. I can see her eyelash, and more worryingly, the tears are forming in her eyes. Yuri, are you okay?
I'm fine. Sorry, that just was really intense for me.
Hey, it's okay. Take your time. It was pretty overwhelming for me too. Nah, we've been waiting for this for a while now. He's been waiting months. He's been putting in work. I am proud of you, MC. You deserve that, and you deserve an NSFFW, whatever the fuck is called, moment too. You've been putting in work. I'm here for you, and I'm not going anywhere. She clings to me a little harder.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do. Even if I were to show you the parts of me that I'm ashamed of, would you still stay with me? Yuri, that's not even a question. Of course I would. I wouldn't leave you for anything.
Thank you.
Thank you. She wraps her arms around me and rests her head on my chest. I'm a little taken back, but taking the opportunity to plant a kiss on the top of her forehead. I'm curious though, what does she mean by the parts of me that I'm ashamed of? Nah, now isn't the time to ask. So, I guess we're boyfriend and girlfriend now, huh?
Cute.
Yes, I suppose we are.
Yes! We fucking did it, boys!
The new semester is going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
It's most definitely going to be. With a smile, she gently grasps my hand and leads me down towards the doors. Yes, brother, we got the W. It's been so long, brother. I must be the luckiest guy in the world. Old wounds. We are on Act 3, the final act. Everything I touch crumbles down in this imaginary world. How many times must I rebuild it? Oh, we finally made it to Act 3, guys. Oh, my lord. Hold on, I had to change the name, brother. I had to change the name of this stream. It was from, do you like it? No, we did it. We kissed Yuri. Oh, man. As my eyes slowly flutter open and the last vestige of sleep leave my body, I run my hand through my hair, thinking about how my life is in its current state. Compared to how the last... Bro, it's a 10 out of 10. This is awesome, bro. We've worked very hard to get to this Yuri, and there's more on top of that. I can't tell you how excited I am. Compared to how last January started, it's definitely a lot different. For one, I actually have a girlfriend now. We kissed and given each other. We kissed and it's given that we like each other. So, why do I still feel a little uneasy? Is it because I still find it hard to believe Yuri likes a guy like me, a clever, gorgeous, sophisticated girl like that? Self-doubt really has a way of eating you up from inside. Well, there's no point in dwelling on it. She chose you for a reason, right? Yep. This year has gone off to a good start, so let's keep it that way. A smile slowly creeps on my face as I get out of bed to start my morning routine. It's going to be an interesting year. Well, one thing I could do without is the bitter cold. It's always freezing around this time of the year. At least I have Yuri to warm me up. Her love for snuggling up indoors with a book in hand might just come in very handy. And also, she's warm when we hug. Really interesting patch in the wall, huh? In attempting to hastily break out my trance, I make a mental effort to bring myself to focus on the girl in front of me. What? Emmy giggles. Come on, this is the first time in a while I've been early, so wanna see the look of Sakurai's face? I grin. Lead the way. How was your Christmas break anyway? Pretty good, yeah? She must have picked up on my happiness in my voice as she bounces on the spot excitedly. I can tell what her next question is gonna be. Oh? And why is that? Well, it's always nice spending Christmas with your friends, you know? There's a mischievous smile on her face that puts me slightly on edge. Especially when those friends are girls, huh? And of course, the mischievous smile on her face is followed by a knowingly smirk. What are you trying to say, Emmy? Yuri, Curly. Wait, that is her name, right? The girl with the purple hair? Yeah, why? Oh, nothing. I saw you guys together on New Year's Eve, that's all. Well, there goes my hopes of being subtle. So, tell me everything. Thankfully, I'm spared from telling Emmy anything as the class door springs open and Sakurai strolls in after settling down the papers. He turns to address the class.
Morning, everyone. Hope you all had a good break.
Curly certainly did. I nudge her in her ribs.
Oh, and why's that?
Come on, Brian, think of something. If you can somehow convince a girl like Yuri to like me, then you must be capable of this. I did a lot of reading on the 20th century history, so I, in a great position to hit the ground running this semester. Sakurai doesn't look entirely convinced, but he nods.
Oh, well, I'm sure you'll be able to answer a lot of the questions that are coming up then.
He chortles and turns to face the blackboard. I glare at Emmy only to be met with a childish grin.
The 1920s and 1930s, guys. Believe me, these are some of the most interesting years.
And just like that, the lesson's begun. Sometime later, I find myself wandering down the club room as I get closer to the door. I spot a familiar figure. A nervous smile works its way on my face. Good morning, Curly. Morning, Yuri. It's nice to see you again. She smiles shyly. There's no hiding the red blush that crept up on her face. And you, Curly? There's an awkward silence for a moment. Of course, it's given Yuri doesn't really know how to take a compliment, although that's a part of what makes it so endearing. Shall we go inside then? Don't know about you, but I'm kind of hungry. She looks relieved by the change of topic. Yes, I was just about to suggest that. It's rather convenient timing we're both here let out at the same time, don't you think? That or both of our teachers happen to be hungry. You're the analytical one, so I'll believe you to it. A small laugh. She opens the door and leads through. To my surprise, we're the last ones in. Monica and Sayori look deep in conversation about something. Wanatsuki has her face firmly hidden behind some manga. The girls look over while Monica and Sayori do, and give us a brief smile before turning back to hear their conversation. Should we go over and talk to them? Yuri pauses for a moment, as her eyes briefly go over to the club members. She eventually shakes her head. Well, I wouldn't. It seems like they're all engrossed in their own thing. Fair enough. Works for me. We will take a seat and pull out our food. Unsurprisingly, Yuri's meal looks a lot fancier than mine. I motion towards it. Homemade, I guess, huh? Heap. Yes, you can never go wrong with vegetables and stir-fried. Paired with some good rice. The combination of flavors is always satisfying to the taste buds. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Oh, I don't sound like a broken record, do I? Huh? No, not at all. I just remembered because I thought it was really interesting how food meant to you, that's all. She doesn't look entirely convinced, but she starts eating nonetheless. A brief silence falls between us. Even though she looks at her food, but I get a shrewd suspicion that her focus is focused on somewhere else. Say, Curly. Have you gotten much thought of what you want to do after school? Probably go home and watch some anime. How come? We briefly make eye contact, seeing Yuri narrow her eyes, trying to figure out if I was being sarcastic or serious. It's strangely silly in a sort of way. Eventually she feels like I'm joking and smiling, and she shakes her head softly. You know what I mean. Truthfully, I don't really know. It's not really something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, if I'm being honest. I probably should give it some thought though. But I guess it just isn't my high priority list. My eyes wander to Sayori and Monica. Sayori looks like she's getting a little sad about something, while Monica apparently trying to cheer her up. The sight of them talking makes me feel grateful, but also a little guilty. As much as I've enjoyed spending time with Yuri, I haven't really spent time with Sayori in the past few months. Still, it's good to know she has other friends, right? Given how we're only second years, it's understandable. I return my gaze to Yuri. Judging by the look on your face, you probably spent a little bit more time I have on this matter. I suppose you could say that. Let me guess, you want to go to university? Study something like Japanese? Was I really that obvious? It was just a fitting pick, that's all. I suppose it is. I imagine you're excited to go? To university? Yes and no, actually. On the other hand, university can be such a stimulating place. The amount of things you can learn while you're there. At high school, you're naturally limited by what your teachers choose to teach. From now, what I've gathered, you're given much more independence at the undergraduate level. But on the other hand, I've been at school for almost my entire life to make that jump. Especially if I were to go to a new part of the country, well, it definitely evokes a lot of anxiety. There's a comfort to be had in a routine. I know exactly what to expect, well, for the most part with school. Humans naturally dislike change, and as exciting as I think higher education will be, it comes at a cost. Well, when you put it like that, yeah, I can definitely see what you mean. But I think it's something we all have to go through at some point, right? Even if we just go straight into work after leaving school. My eyes wander over at Natsuki. Her position hasn't changed in the slightest. Man, that manga must be pretty damn good. Yuri follows my line of sight. Her eyes land on Natsuki as well. Given the already thoughtful look on her face, it's hard to tell if she changed her mind. Natsuki's only a first year, so I suppose that there wouldn't be much sense in having discussion with her. I don't think my post-school plans have ever crossed my mind back when I was a first year in high school. What about Sayuri? Have you ever spoken to her about it? Not really. We only began talking to one another a couple months ago, and I catch myself just in time mentioning that Yuri and I haven't had much time to ourselves because I spent so much time with Yuri. Well, would make Yuri just feel bad. Well, I guess we just hasn't met the right time. Besides, she's never really stuck to someone to me who really gave that much thought to her future. Kinda like me. Whereas someone like Monica has the impression I get from her is that she's probably got a plan. I chuckled to myself, remembering how my parents used to say that my school years would flash by in the blink of an eye. I've had this conversation with my mom and dad before. It was a while ago though. I think they wanted me to go to university so our plans aren't too far off. Guess you had a similar conversation with your parents, right? Yuri?
Yes, I think so.
The vague uncertain nature to her answer throws me off guard for a moment, but I'm not giving much of a time to push as Monica suddenly returns to us.
Hey, you two. Sorry for not saying hi just now. I was a little preoccupied.
It's all good. Everyone seemed to be doing their own thing, so I didn't think anyone really noticed. Is you okay, Sayuri? You look a little down.
Oh, I'm fine. What made you think that?
I don't know. I just guessed that it just looked like Monica was trying to cheer you up. That's all. Just how I interpret the situation is all.
There's nothing wrong, silly. How was your New Year's Eve?
I glanced toward Yuri, and there's a faint blush on her cheek. It was really something. The look on Sayuri's face went from quizzical to understanding as she puts two and two together.
Ooh, you two! You together, aren't you?
I reach out and gently weave Yuri's hand into mine. Yeah, we are.
I know there was something going on between you two. I'm so happy for you guys.
Sayuri's smile is huge. It's almost bordering on insincere.
Great! That's precisely what clubs need. Lovey-dovey mushy stuff.
I'm surprised you even noticed that you said mushy stuff with how absorbed your manga seemed. Fuck!
It doesn't block out the sound of people kissing, you know.
That sounds like it came from a personal experience. She tips her manga down to glare at me. I grin and raise my free hand as a comedic display of self-defense.
To be fair, she has a point. PD is a major no-no for me.
Don't worry, we'll save physical stuff for when you guys aren't around. Look how everybody gave me that look, bro. They know what time it is. They know. They absolutely know what time it is. They know what kind of time I'm on. What? Why are you guys looking at me like that?
You never really think before you open your mouth, do you?
What do you... The sound of the bell ringing cuts my question short, and soon after that, the sound of scraping chairs fill the air as soon as everyone starts packing up. It's only as we're all heading towards the door do I realize what I just said and how much awkward it is. Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. Guys! But Monica and Natsuki and Sayuri are already gone. Desperately, I turn to Yuri. You know what I mean, right? I awkwardly rub the back of my head. Yuri?
You know,
you're quite endearing when you're flustered. She smiles and heads off. Oh, this is game on. Let's see how far we've gotten. Save it. I don't know how far I am right now, but right now I know I'm in Act 3, and we are closing it. I don't know if this is gonna be the last episode, but I'm probably gonna, maybe by next stream, probably for sure though. It's nice to have a day to myself for once. Seems like it's been a while since I haven't made plans for the weekend. Funny thing, what joining a single club can do in your social life. That's probably exaggeration on my part though. I'm just used to staying on the weekends. Whenever I do go out, it's a huge deal in my mind. Let's see, what should I do? I'm suddenly overwhelmed by the possibilities. Well, guess I should start by brushing my teeth and getting dressed. A fresh minty taste permeates my mouth. Unfortunately, orange juice is out the question now. Might as well make another foray to the world of cooking. What was one of the recipes Yuri's told me about before? Egg and rice. Sounds pretty nice right now. I half-heartedly swirl some rice in a bowl full of water. It's been a while since I used to cook. Since I cooked rice myself. I'm just too impatient to wait for the rice. Let's start. Egg rice is pretty good. The mouth feels kind of slimy, but it tastes good. I don't know if I actually cooked it correctly, but how badly could I have messed it up? I might make it again the next time I'm too lazy to make something else. Which is why they say it's basically every meal. This has to be more healthy than the instant meals though, right? Wonder what Yuri's eating right now. She did say she eats breakfast quite often. Is that cheesy saying where people connected by the same moon overhead? But except the mood, we're connected by eggy rice. Yuri does wake up earlier than me though, so she's probably finished eating by now. Speaking of Yuri, I should probably make some headway before the countless books she recommended to me if I want to be able to keep up with her. Let's see. I've only gotten through a few more chapters in this book, but I'm already feeling restless. The plot isn't bad, but the theme seems a bit elusive to me. It interestingly employs a stream of consciousness style narrating too that I'm not used to reading. I wonder if Yuri ever gets bored of reading. It's like she's some inhuman reading machine, so there must be some writers who she dislikes. Knowing her, she'd be the type of person to soldier on and finish any book she reads, despite her feeling towards it. Maybe I should go outside and stretch my legs a bit, and come back to read a book later with fresh eyes. It's the type of winter day where it's sunny and yet still chilly. The clear, cold sunshine lights up the uniformly gray sky. This kind of sunlight has always reminded me a bit of the hue of fluorescent lights. It makes the air seem more crystalline. Fortunately for me, it's not cold enough to warrant bundling up in a bunch of large layers. Just a sweater is enough to keep me comfortable. Some people have crazy tolerances. I'll never be able to reach that level. Speaking of which, there's a girl in a skirt approaching me. Looks like she's walking her dog. Wait, is that Yuri? Hey, Yuri!
What's up, Curly?
I didn't know you lived close to me.
Oh, is this your house over there? I wouldn't say I live too close by. It's just that I really like taking long walks.
Huh? Maybe you should go on a run with Emmy sometime.
Huh? It's divided people to keep up with her. Anyway, it's just my dog that really likes being outside. So I hit two birds with one stone by getting both me and the dog some exercise. Isn't that right, Mochi?
The dog barks cheerfully in response, wagging his tail ferociously. Mochi, that's a cute name. It matches his look too. Usually a huge ball of white fur.
Yep. Sammy
looks kind of like a gigantic blob of white mochi, don't you think? I mean, other than kissing Yuri, no. We kissed Yuri, and went on a day. We announced it to everybody too. So after we told them, this is like the day after. I mean, maybe if we squint really hard and have some terrible vision.
You don't know how to appreciate dogs or Mochi. So are you enjoying the sunny day as well? Or are you gonna pop back your nasty old taco den after this?
Well, I decided to take a walk. Hey, I don't have a nasty otaku den. I wouldn't even call myself an otaku. Just because a guy dabbles in the occasion of anime or manga, that doesn't mean he's an otaku.
Don't forget the video games.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Haha, don't worry. I won't tell any of the girls about it.
How do you even know about my hobbies?
Look, just because I don't confiscate the manga you read in class doesn't mean I don't notice it. You should be thankful to have such a chill class rep, huh? Otherwise, next time we swap manga with your buddies, you might find yourself in huge trouble.
Says the girl who wildly modifies her uniform. And just so you know, the girls I hang out with don't mind those things either. Or at least, I don't think they do.
I'm just teasing you, Curly.
Yeah. You have cram school or something? I assume that's why you're wearing your uniform on Saturday.
Nah, it's just a habit of my old school. I used to go to this really prestigious private school that required everyone to wear uniforms outside. Like, every high school student wears their uniform when they go to academic-related things like cram school. But we had to wear uniforms when we were just hanging out outside of school, too. Something about holding ourselves accountable for our conduct in both in and out of school.
Sounds suffocating.
No kidding. The headmaster has a giant stick up his butt.
So, are you overcompensating with your current uniform then? Making up for all those years you couldn't customize your uniform?
Let's just say that I'm good at the rules.
Mochi suddenly starts barking and tugs on his leash, causing Sawyer to stumble a bit.
Okay, Mochi. Looks like he wants to get going now. See you to school.
See ya. Mochi runs off with struggling Shiori in tow. Just Shiori's the only one that walks her dog. Well, I should probably head back, finish my book. It's night by the time I flip over the last page of the novel and snap the cover shut. That's one book down, a billion more to go. Are you proud of me yet, Yuri? I'm about to contemplate rewarding myself by binging an anime series when my cell phone rings. Speak of the devil, it's Yuri. I'm guessing that she's calling me to praise me on my literature accomplishment. Hey Yuri, what's up?
Hello, Curly.
Just calling to say hi?
Oh, yes, I suppose so. Am I interrupting something? I hope I'm not bothering you.
Nah, don't worry, you're all good. I just finished one of those books you recommended to me.
Oh? Which one?
It was that translated story about the thief who gets released from jail, and he becomes obsessed with people that put him.
Oh, and how did you like it?
I think I liked it overall, but it kind of made me feel a bit depressed too.
How so?
Well, the protagonist definitely isn't totally moral himself. I mean, he's a thief and ends up killing people by the end. But I couldn't help but sympathizing with him. He lost everything while he was in jail, even his family, and he couldn't find his way back into society.
Is it true that he absolutely couldn't help but slip back into his solid ways, though?
I guess not. He did have a mentor who gave him shelter and advice, though. I still found myself agreeing with him when he started to become a sort of anarchist revolutionary.
I suppose you're commiserated with the lack of justice from the protagonist's point of view.
Yeah, I did like how ironic the ending was. The main character spends the whole book calling his enemies traitors and dogs, but in the end, gets killed by the police dog.
I think that I would agree on you on this story, and rather
It's quite existent literature. How about that? I can't read it. It's fine. We're gonna move forward.
However, I do disagree on the protagonist's actions myself. The way I see it, while the main character's life is unfair to some aspects, he also uses his anger and anarchist ideas to hide his own flaws and characteristics. After all, the story employs the first-person narration and stream of big consciousness, so there's an element of unreliable narrator there.
That's true. He did try justifying some bad things.
But in the end, the death's the greater equalizer. Just as the protagonist dies, so shall his supposed enemies.
It really makes you think about the futility of life. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm supposed to say to that. Man, what a depressing turn this conversation's taken. Do you think the main character could have changed though? I mean, if he were a real person or something.
Well, it's not as though people are locked in certain personalities and dispositions at birth.
Well, pardon me.
I believe that people's experiences can deeply change on how they see the world. The main character certainly has the ability to change, but all the events happen to cause him to become misanthropic and embittered.
I'd agree with that. This is kind of touches on the nature versus nurture debate too, right?
Nature versus nurture, one of the biggest questions regarding the human condition.
I'm inclined to focus on how people's environment affects them, rather than on what they're genetically predisposed to myself. That's one of the reasons why I love reading people, both real and fiction stories, so much. You get to see how the character develops through the whole of the conflicts that they endure. It's almost like a parent watching their child grow, but sped up to a fit in the few hours it would take you to read the book. It might take only you a few hours, but it takes me much longer than that. It doesn't take that long time when you become completely absorbed by the book. And what's amazing about literature is that it can even make you sympathize with despicable people by showing how their mindset is warped by their experiences. But how do you know this stuff of a person's personality can be attributed nature or nurture? There's no real way you can measure this kind of thing. Oh, good point. What if your brains were wired that way? It makes you more likely to enjoy things like literature and tea. Maybe dopamine gets released in your brain in different ways than mine does. That's just an example, though. I'm not a neuroscientist. Perhaps how much is the wrong question. Maybe more accurate to ask something along the lines between nature and nurture interact. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed the novel. I may be sending more recommendations your way. Hey, hold on, I have a long list of books to go. Thanks for giving me all these recommendations, though. It's really helped me ease my back into the literary world. Well, if you count the children's books that I read as a kid's part of the literary world. Of course, Curly. I'm always happy to share my love for literature with others. I can practically hear the smile in her voice. You know, this is actually the first time today I picked up my phone to use. Do you call people often then? Nah, I usually use it to play games and random posts online. Today's been really quiet for me though, in a good way. All I did was cook and read and go for a walk. Oh, and talk to you. That sounds like a lovely day, Curly. Quite similar to mine, actually. Seems like you're really rubbing off on me. We laughed together a bit. These gentle moments with Yuri wish they could last forever. I hope that's a good thing. Are you kidding me? Of course it is. My mom would kill me for $1 like you. I realized too late what I just implied. Good one, Curly. You're probably gonna hang up from embarrassment with that one. I mean, definitely have a better grades for me and stuff. I'm sure you're just doubting yourself. Anyway, it's getting a bit late now, yeah. Well, I'll talk to you later, okay? See you in school, Curly. See ya. Smooth, Curly. Smooth. A little bit of an L on my part, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine indeed. Another day, another 7 hours or so spent indoors at school. Countless hours of training to enter the rat race of the corporate lives conditioning us to equate wealth to self-worth. Well, let's get dressed. No time for breakfast today, unfortunately. I'm not gonna degrade myself by running around with toast in my mouth either, so an empty stomach it is. Maybe I can grab a coffee at a vending machine somewhere. I wouldn't mind snagging a bread at the school store either. Melon bread has always been my favorite. It's a bit childish. Shayla's always liked it too, so I guess she'd like any kind of sweet bread. Ooh, curry bread is really good too. It's definitely a comfort food to me. Fried bread with curly filling. Man, I'm making myself hungry. You're only torturing yourself here, Curly. I can't help feel something niggling in the back of my mind. It's like a feeling of weird nebulous. It's like something's a bit off. What's if I forgot something? Quickly hosting my bags in my arms, I rifle through my contents. Nope, looks like all my homework and my workbooks are done here. Oh, I used to drive myself crazy over it. Have all my stuff, it can probably wait. It's not important anyways. Within a few minutes, school comes to view. Wait a minute. I stop cold, mentally facepalm myself. I'm not walking with Sayori. Actually, I haven't walked with Sayori in a while. Now that I think about it, the last time I walked with her was before the winter break. By this time, I'm virtually in the front of the school, so it'd be overkill to rush back just to walk with her. Besides, it's nearly time for school. If she isn't here by now, she's probably going to be late. And if I go back, it'll be too late. I feel like I'm betraying her though. With one last glance, I stand back at the school dates. I'll just have to check up on her. Maybe she started coming to school early. Gonna be harder to get her early than me after all. I've gotta remember to catch up with her one of these days. Sayori, when we were kids, we practically were inseparable. What happened to us? Best friends forever, huh? I rest my head on my shoulders and close my eyes, letting Sakurai's drowning wash over me. Soon enough, I can barely register the lecture going to the background. Sayori was pretty cute as a kid. She always used to wear tank tops and shorts. Hair was just as messy as it was back then, though. It's kind of embarrassing to admit, but we thought we'd get married in the future. Of course, kids don't really get married, actually is. But we just kind of expected everything to stay the same forever. Forever's a long time, though, and nothing panned out the way we thought it would. I wonder if she regrets losing contact for so long. Funny thing, how can you drift apart despite being neighbors? I don't know if I'd say that she's changed a lot, but things are pretty different. Not to mention that I've definitely changed too. And now, Yuri. How did I manage to get a girl like Yuri to fall for me? If anything, my dating Yuri now shows I've changed from hanging out with loudmouth, bubbly girls to quiet, bookish types. Maybe that whole opposites attract is true. Not that our personalities are so different. I feel like I'm becoming more and more like her every day. Or at least I hope so. Intelligent, well-spoken, soothing. Well, it's not like she does have flaws though. It seems that Yuri has plenty of baggage herself. The social anxiety for one thing. With any luck, I'll be able to rub off on Yuri and help her with her issues. I don't expect that I'll be able to cure her or anything, but hopefully I'll be able to support her where she needs it. It's funny how much brighter the future can seem if you can you can be together with someone you truly care about. Together. Forever. What the fuck? Huh? Huh? Sayori, you said we'd be together forever. Wait, so why? But that was when we were kids. Why did you leave me all alone? I'm sorry, is my friendship not enough? I don't know what's happening.
I thought you wanted me around again.
We started talking together again.
But I guess I was wrong.
No, that's not it. What the fuck is going on? This is who you really want, right? Stop, it's not like that. I just hope that the same thing won't happen to her. That's not what happened. We can't stay in the past like this. I'm sorry about what happened between us, but please don't break her heart just like you did mine. This isn't healthy. We can't change the past. Please just hear me out. Why aren't you saying anything? I'm trying, I really am. Please just say something. I want it to be like how it was before. Don't leave me without a word for years. Tell me that you're not gonna run away again. I was scared. Tell me that you can at least face me. Please. I'm sorry, Sayori. Curly. But no matter how many times I apologize, it won't change anything. We have to move on from this. Otherwise, you won't be able to fix anything. I didn't choose Yuri over you. I care about you both, just in different ways. Please, Sayori. Let's look forward about the future together. You, me, Yuri, Natsuki, and even Monica. Let's all support each other as friends forever, right? Isn't that right, Yuri? Yuri? I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now. The past is never dead. It's not even past. Huh? That quote is from Requiem, none by Falker. What? I don't expect that you've read any of his works, though. You're not much of a reader, are you? You'll never... There's a lot of shit going on. It's making me feel not okay. You'll never be able to keep up with me. You know, I can tell you're being insecure every time we speak about literature. That's not true at all. You don't have to keep up with your false pretenses, Curly. Otherwise, you'll just come as a pseudo-intellectual. Yuri, why? Well, Curly, what do you have to say for yourself? Curly, stop. Curly, no. Curly! Huh? Jeez, Curly. If you want to sleep in class, you should really be stealthier. What? Sleep? So was this a dream then? It takes me a moment to get my bearings back, but once my head clears, I'm back in reality.
And in this case, reality is history class. How the hell am I supposed to control when I wake up? By not sleeping so deeply, for one thing.
Yeah, I called your name a bunch of times before you woke up. You're lucky that we're supposed to be doing a group activity right now. Otherwise, it might have been Sakura waking you up with a slap from a workbook.
Yeah. Very good class rep you are. Letting a classmate sleep in class.
Hey, I can report you if you want me to.
Okay. I feel strange. Another cute girl. Yeah, Shiori and Emmy. No, I think I'm good, thanks. You just missed a quite interacting dream I just had, and it was not pleasant. So right now, as the main character, I think I'm feeling very self-conscious about being with Yuri, and also self-conscious about Sayori, because Sayori and I technically grew up together, and you know, since I've been spending a lot of time with Yuri, I haven't really been spending time with Sayori. And right now, it's eating me alive because it's like I just used her to, you know, get to where Yuri is right now. And I feel so like, man, it's like, look at my save file. Matter of fact, like right here, it was quite weird. Yeah, I don't want to go through that again. No, I think I'm good, thanks. I'd be good even after taking a nice long nap too. Hey, give me a break. Man, oh man, that's such a terrifying feeling though. Imagine you having a nightmare and you wake up. And when you wake up, you just have... What's going on? Is my stream okay? Well, we're just gonna, continue on. Maybe nothing will change and, ignore it for now. But if it pops up again, we'll deal with it when we'll deal with it. Hey, give me a break. Yet another school day done and over with. Fortunately, the rest of my classes were less eventful. Now I've got to try and stay awake for the literature club. My phone suddenly starts to vibrate as I step into the side of the corridor to check it. It's Monica. Scratch that. It's the new group chat she made for the literature club. It's actually pretty smart. Hey guys, no club today. Sorry for the short notice. I have a class rep meeting. Oh, that's so adorable. It's like the hands you used to pray. Whoa, that kamoji suits you perfectly, Natsuki. Hello, yeah, it's a pic of you in real life.
Shut up!
Ah, man. I'm having an absolute blast playing this game, though. I chuckle to myself as I put my phone away. You could say I'm carrying the literature club around in my pocket now. My smile turns into a sigh, though, as I watch everyone around me rushing to their respective clubs. Guess it's the go home club for me today. I'm home. Maybe I'll take a quick nap. Not like my mom's gonna nag about you. Flopping down on my bed, I bury my face in the covers. However, my relaxation is cut short when my phone rings and keeps me out of date. God damn it, this better be good. Oh, it's Yuri. Hello?
Curly, hi.
What's up, Yuri?
Tell me if I'm being too forward, but would you mind if I came to your house right now?
Sure thing. Do you want me to just hang out or?
Well, this may be a bit strange for me to say, but my house is a little too quiet for me today. It's not that I'm afraid of the traditional sense of the word, I just feel very unsettled by myself.
That really is weird. Yuri, of all people having trouble with things being quiet? Your parents not home?
No, they aren't.
Do you want me to meet you at your place and walk you back? We could take the bus too.
No, you don't really have to bother.
It's seriously no bother. I'm not doing anything right now, so...
No, it's fine, really. I want to walk by myself for a while and gather my thoughts.
Well, if you're sure. Call me if you need anything, need me to come, alright?
Okay, thank you. I'll be seeing you shortly then.
See you in a bit. Yuri's coming over, huh? Man, that means I really gotta clean up the place. I can't help but think it would have been easier for me just to go over to her place. Oh well, gotta take better care of my house anyway. I can't believe how hard I'm breathing just because from cleaning. Granted, I've really been
speeding along to finish in one time, but still. Right on cue, the doorbell rings. Hopefully I don't look too frenzied out. Hey Yuri.
Hello, Curly. Thanks for having me in such short notice.
It's good. What kind of boyfriend would I be if I wasn't accommodating you? To be honest, it still feels a little surreal when I think about how I'm dating Yuri. And judging by the blush on Yuri's face, she feels the same way.
Even if you say that as your girlfriend, I should be considered to schedule you too.
Well, my schedule's completely free right now, so come on in. Yuri smiles shyly that pulls at my heart. I guess the wind whistles through the open door momentarily, causes us to shiver. It's gotten pretty cold outside, huh?
It's definitely winter weather. Although, it's my favorite season. The chill can be less than comfortable.
Good thing I know the perfect remedy for that. Cuddling together as a door with a good book.
Cute. That does sound wonderful.
Can I get you anything to drink?
Any hot tea that'd be preferred, thank you.
Fine by me. I think I have some green tea or black tea left. I quickly pop back into the kitchen and start searching through my cabinets. Pots, pan, baking supplies. Did I somehow run out? I don't drink tea that often. I shove a box of cake mix onto a shelf and a couple packets fall off the floor. What's this? I wonder if this would do. Hey, I hope I don't leave you waiting for too long.
Really, it's fine. It makes me happy just being here.
Not as happy as I am with you here. Man, when did I turn to such a cornball? That cheesy line made Yuri giggle at least.
Anyway,
I couldn't find any tea. But I did find this. Would you like to try it out? I'll hold up packets of cocoa powder for you to examine.
Hot cocoa? I've never had the powder version, but let's try it.
Ooh, your adventurous side is coming out, huh?
Maybe. I'm not one to turn down a hot drink during the winter.
Alright, let's get going then. Within a few moments, we have 2 steaming mugs of instant hot cocoa in front of us. Having just been mixed with a tan froth swirl into a spiral to the surface. Yuri peers down to the liquid and looks with anticipation. I still can't believe you never had instant cocoa before. And I bet you're not the type of person to heat up milk on the stove either. Microwaves are simply inferior devices compared to stoves. Of course. Well, you gonna try it?
I suppose so.
She raises the mug to her lips and takes a hesitant lip. There's a strange look on her face. And I mean, I don't expect the instant powder to be able to match with the real thing, but I can't tell if she likes it or not. What do you think?
I don't really know how to describe it. It tastes
like it was made from Instamix?
Exactly.
We both chuckle at that, filling the warm, airy kitchen with warmer laughter. Yuri closes her eyes and subtly, contentedly tracing the rim around the mug with her finger.
I remember my mother making cocoa for me during Christmas time when I was younger. Even now I can make my cocoa as creamy as she could.
Don't you still have cocoa with your mom? Or just a free load off of her?
That is, I used to freeload off her of many more things during the holidays. Once I even ended up eating all the peppermint bark.
Huh? I didn't know you had such a sweet tooth. Now that I think about it, Yuri has shown propensity for eating sweets before.
Well, it is more understanding now, but when I was in elementary school, I definitely did. I suppose I grew out of it. Anyway, I believe that one of the reasons why my mother started teaching me how to cook was because I was always asking her to cook something for me.
That makes sense. I think my mom probably wished she did that as well.
Cute. I was quite the ferocious eater as a child.
If we'd be friends as kids, we probably could have eaten our parents out of a house and home between the two of us. Actually, I guess that Yuri and I kinda did that in a way. Yuri's appetite is forever insatiable, it would seem. You've got that right. Did you two spend Christmas time together like this, huh? You were practically thick as thieves within a week of our first meeting. I think we spent every Christmas together until middle school.
That's when you two drifted apart, wasn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, I still feel kind of guilty about that.
Was it not mutual? The diminishing of your friendship, I mean?
It happened kind of naturally, in my opinion, so I guess it was mutual. I don't know, that was around the time the divorce was happening, so I was preoccupied with my own angst at the time. I'm sure that it contributed to it a lot.
I see. It's no wonder that you might have felt like not talking then.
Guess so. Sayori, my mom, and I used to be really close back then. Your mom may be used to working now, but can you still maintain your relationship with Sayori, couldn't you? After all, you did spend this past Christmas with her along with the rest of the literature club. I don't want to tell Yuri that I've kind of dropped off hanging out with Yuri again after beginning to date her. Yeah, but I still feel like it's not enough to make up for everything. Like, I'm not the only one with problems, right? Yes, but that doesn't invalidate your issues, Curly. I really value her friendship, but at the same time, it'd feel weird suddenly to talk about this stuff. How am I supposed to act all moody with such a bright and bubbly girl? Hell, I don't even know if I can know much about her current life. I don't know who her other friends are, or whether she likes anyone or if she doesn't like anyone. So, what gives me the right to butt back into her life again? But if you want to remain close to her, I suspect that you do. You have to somehow confront your guilt within yourself. Maybe if you speak to her about it, you'll find that she doesn't blame you for anything at all. Actually, I think that's why she'd likely say to you. Yeah, Sayori is the type of person to forgive and forget. I've always liked her optimism. It kind of balanced my occasionally cynicism. What do you think the two of you would be if you hadn't drifted apart? I don't know. Really close for one thing. I'd probably be a lot more tired all the time from taking care of her though. Have you seen the way she can come out of her house in the mornings? She can be pretty needy in a good way. I'm sure you're only exaggerating. After all, Sayori is a very cute girl. Oh! Curly, you're the most oblivious guy in existence. If we had drifted apart, I probably would have joined the literature club sooner too. Then I could have met you sooner. Who knows? In another timeline, we could have celebrated our 1-year anniversary already. That's relatively a good save, isn't it? Maybe. I give anything in the world for these moments though. When we're just talking together in a cozy place. No worries. I'll see you later, bud. I slide my fingers between her ears and squeeze her, which remains limp in my grip. Alright, go ahead, bud. I'll be streaming for about another hour. I'll probably end around 7. Please don't be as upset with my imagination as it's making you out to be. Suddenly, Yuri pushes her chair and stands up. Sorry. Yeah, actually, I had a nightmare with Yuri and Sayori. You know, the guilt was eating me because I was spending a lot of time with Yuri, and Sayori, I didn't really spend much time with for the last couple months. And, you know, I can show you the loadout. See? You can see that the nightmare was kind of bad. It kind of had reminiscence of like the freakish eyes, the, you know, glitching. It was very a little unsettling, but overall. How many minutes? So an hour and 10 minutes to be exact. 70 minutes in total. Sorry, but can I use the bathroom? Huh? Of course. You know where it is, right? Yes. Now please excuse me. Yuri quickly leaves the room, leaving me alone with our long, cooled cocoa. Curly, why do you always have to mess things up? I put my head down on the table, closing my eyes and letting out a heavy sigh. The table cools my forehead, but I can feel my cheeks heating up. Why? Is it embarrassment? Guilt? I can't tell. Just calm down, Curly. Huh? Did I manage to doze off? I must have developed narcolepsy or something. More importantly, though, where's Yuri? Is she still in the bathroom? I'm probably knocked out for a good minute or two. Holy, it's dark outside. A quick look to my phone confirms I've been asleep for an hour. Maybe Yuri left already. It would be in her character for not to want to disturb me in my sleep. I better check the bathroom though, just in case. The door is closed and I don't want to try the doorknob just in case Yuri's still in there. A sharp inhale like someone sucking the air through their teeth. Yuri, are you in there? A loud yelp within, followed by the clattering of something falling on the floor. Are you hurt? Hold on, I'm coming in. To my relief, the doorknob turns in my grasp. This may be an invasion of privacy, but if she's hurt... Now begins the hard part. Yuri! Huh? She quickly pulls her sleeve down. She grimaces in pain.
I knew it! I definitely knew it! She grimaces in pain as she does so. It must have agitated her fresh wounds. What? It seems my brain has short-circuited. I have no idea where I should look. I somehow can't bring myself to make eye contact. Yuri opted to hide her face behind a sheet of hair, nervously weaving a strand between her fingers. Yuri, did you do that? Would you believe me if I said that I didn't? What did you use? Yuri's eyes darts downwards for a second. There's a bloody razor blade on the floor. The tiles around it splatter with tiny droplets of blood. I gingerly pick it up with 2 fingers and wrap it with a wad of toilet paper. Have you been cutting yourself in here this whole time? No answer. She still won't look at me. Why? Was it because what I said about Sayori? Yuri, I'm sorry. I should have been more considerate. I didn't mean to come off that way. I was just... She finally breaks her silence. No. Yuri, it's not your fault, Curly. I'm afraid that it's just me and my own feelings. What are you talking about? If I hadn't said anything, this would have been inevitable. I don't get what you're saying. Could you help me understand, please? Okay. But could you give me a little time to clean up and think things through a bit? Of course. I'll be waiting in the living room. Wait. What is it? Do you need any help? I just need some bandages and alcohol to clean my dress and my arm. There should be some medicine cabinet over there. Feel free to help yourself if you need anything. And tell me if you need any help. I got it. Now, excuse me. I shuffle out the bathroom, although not before I pocket the toilet paper covered razor blade. That thing is going straight in the trash. Yuri. My body feels like a stone as I sink into the couch. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to think. The reality of all just beginning to hit me. Yuri cuts herself. It's true that I've never seen her without long sleeves before. But how could she be doing such a thing? And why? Does her family know? All of a sudden, abundance of thoughts pour into my mind as if a dam had burst in my brain. With this shock worn off, there's just so much to think about. Is Yuri seeing a doctor for this? Is some kind of therapist or specializing in this, right? And I hate to think about it, but is Yuri suicidal? I'm so lost in my rumination that I hardly towards Yuri's in front of me. Oh, you are. Are you okay? Sorry, that was a moronic thing to say. Are you good enough to talk though? If you're not comfortable, you don't have to. No, it's okay. I feel terrible to leave you clueless. Really, you don't have to force yourself. Me too. But this is the situation where I do need to force myself. Oh god, we're in a cycle of uncomfortable politeness. Well, if you're sure, but just please remember, you don't have to tell me everything if you're not ready to. Thank you, Curly. We sit down together in silence for a moment. Even though we're right next to each other, it feels like there's an unfathomable gap between us. A gap that I may never be able to comprehend. Yuri clears her throat. Curly, just so you know, this isn't any of your doing. I know what you're thinking. You probably think I'm jealous of Sayori, and that's why. That's why I cut myself. Yeah, that is what I'm thinking, but I'm guessing that's not true. She nods slowly. To be honest, I am actually jealous of Sayori, but not in that way. I trust you, Curly, enough to know that you wouldn't secretly harbor feelings for someone else, that is. I'm jealous of Sayori as a person. I wish I were anyone but me. Tears start pulling the corners of Yuri's eyes. Her start to waver. I wish I could be cute. I wish I could be bubbly and energetic. Not this gloomy, self-pitying Miliquas of a girl.
She struggles to get words out, her tears, struggling, strengthened, marketing every severe emotional turmoil. Yuri. That's not at all either. I'm jealous of your relationship with Sayori. I could never imagine being so close to someone. To be more accurate, I'm more jealous of the relationship itself. I reach out to Yuri in my arms, but when she flinched at my touch, but what about us? Don't you think we're close? I love you just the way you are, Yuri. She shakes her head, wiping her arms on her sleeve. I've been keeping all these secrets from everyone, including you. This is like self-exile, isn't it? The wavering laugh she makes breaks my heart. How can I be close to someone if I can't help but hide my true self? Yuri, I don't really know what to say, except to deny your claims. There's a reason why I started dating you, because I love you. And these thoughts, this is why you cut yourself today? Do you do it often? I harm myself when I get overwhelmed by my emotions. Obviously, I wasn't thinking straight when I went to the bathroom just then. I hate myself so much sometimes that I need to take it out on my skin and flesh. How else am I going to receive my just punishment? Punishment? You don't need to be punished for anything. You need to stop doing this to yourself, Yuri. She gives me an absolutely miserable look. I know, but I don't know if I can. Could you please try to stop, though? Please. Have you talked to your parents, though? Could they help? There's a long moment of silence. When Yuri finally speaks, it's barely audible. I imagine they would have done everything in their power to help me. It suddenly hits me like a truck. Yuri's parents are dead. All the clues, and I never noticed it. Her nervousness every time I asked about her family, a constant of the use of the past tense when we talk about them. My eyes begin to tear up as the realization of all the pain that Yuri's been through. She looks like she's trying to put on a strong front, but tears quickly begin to roll down her face. They're gone, aren't they? All at once, she buries her face in my chest, muffling her quiet weeping. Yuri. I gently wrap my arms around her. We sit like that for I don't know how long. The warmth of our embrace reassures me, telling me that Yuri's safe with me for now. But at the same time, a voice in the back of my head says that her mind, her thoughts are unreachable. All I can do right now is hold her, lonely as she is, in a land of tears. Yuri? She stopped crying by now, but still seems to be hiding from the world in my chest. Curly, do you want to go to bed now? We can talk about anything you want in the morning. Yes, that sounds nice. Yep, already on it. Already on it. You already know. Oh, my lord. She slowly rises up and stretches, combining through her hair and her fingers. Oh, and one last thing. Tell me if it's too personal for you to share. What is it? Do you ever think about killing yourself? No. Sorry, but no. I don't want to die, but I can't find another way that I can cope with this life. I see. I can't say that I completely understand it, but I'm extremely relieved to know that. Could we go to bed now? I'm afraid that I'm emotionally exhausted. Of course. Let's head upstairs then. You can take my bed. I'll just sleep on the couch in the living room or something. Wait! Yuri suddenly reaches out and takes a hold of my sleeve. We can sleep together. Huh? A blush reddens Yuri Pilot's face. In the same bed. It would be unfair to do this otherwise. Oh. Please don't leave me alone. Don't worry, I'd never do that to you. We get ready for bed and soon find ourselves snuggling together under the covers. Neither of us speak, but the silence in the room was imbued with a certain understanding. Yuri clings onto my arms as we fall asleep together, her slender arms entwined with mine. Right as I'm about to succumb to sleep, I hear a murmur from Yuri. Don't leave. My tongue thick from dodging this, but I manage one word. I say never.
My lord! Act 3 is getting quite interesting.
As I'm slowly roused back into consciousness, I let out a long yawn, watching the faint streams of sunlight permeate my room. I'm still feeling a little drowsy, so should I just... Wait, why does my chest feel so warm? As my eyes take in sight in front of me, the memories from last night come flooding back. The cuts, the fear in her face, the plea to stay with me overnight. One of her sleeves was pushed up slightly, affording me the sight I didn't have access to. Seeing such marks on Yuri's pale arm, some of which still look fairly new. I wince at the thought of my own flesh which bears the scars. Why? How? So many questions. A small sound from Yuri's lips pulls me away from the flurry of thoughts in my head. It sounds like a content sigh. If I look closely, I can make out a small smile on her face as she's clinging to me a little harder. A wave of happiness courses through me, which, having seen her scars again, feels a little foreign. Still, it feels incredible to have someone like you love and cuddle up against while they're sleeping. Something about the physical closeness during such an intimate moment. I reach out and gently stroke the top of her head. She smells faintly of lavender. Her hair is soft and silken. It's given to someone like Yuri takes care of herself. I suppose with no parents around. Is that when she started? No. I don't want this moment ruined by anything. We can talk about all that stuff later. Right now, I just want to see her happy. So that's all I'll focus on. The softness of her hair along with the feel of her head on my chest. I don't know how long we stayed in that peaceful embrace. But eventually, Yuri stirs, offering me a smile as she rises from my chest. Rubbing her eyes slowly, she sits up and lets out a small yawn. There's a silence for a second. You were up even before I was. Yeah, hard to believe. Don't worry. I find it just as hard to believe it as you do. My attempt at humor is weak. Yuri laughs as well, but it's easy to tell that it was a little forced. There's no denying the tension, the elephant in the room. May have been averted while we were sleeping, but there's no escape now. So Yuri, I was wondering. She probably gets out of bed and speaking without a glance back in my direction she speaks. Her assertive tone surprises me.
Let's make breakfast, Curly.
But, please? She turns to face me while she isn't making eye contact. I read the first message on her face. Not yet. Wearily, I climb out of bed following her down the hallway, wondering how the rest of the day will go. To say that breakfast wasn't a comfortable affair would have been quite the understatement. Yuri wasn't making eye contact, even stopped frequently to ensure her sleeves were completely covering her wrists. Every time she picked up a knife or cut some food, I couldn't help but wince. My mind was doing me no favors. Has she cut herself with a knife? Last night was a razor blade. Does she have a stash of them at home? Or is her cutting habit related to knife collecting hobby? The tension has grown tenfold since she woke up. I'm desperately trying to think of a way to break the uneasy silence, but I can't come up with anything. Diplomacy can only get me so far. How am I meant to even approach the topic? I've never had a friend who's harmed himself before. I stare in the last remaining crumbs of my meal. Eating in silence has proven to be unbelievably awkward. Desperate for something to do, I stand up and head for the sink. At least, the prospect of washing up my plate has given me something to focus on. As I stand up at the sink, Yuri's voice is pierced to the silence. I'm really sorry. For what? She gestures around her. For this. For everything. I dump the unwashed plate in the sink. I walk over to her. She's staring forlornly at the ground. You don't have to apologize for anything. Seriously. Am I the only person that knows?
Yes.
Then. Well, sorry if I sound presumptuous, but well, I imagine it must be pretty hard, right?
Very much so. It's a little overwhelming.
I take one of her hands in mine. She's shaking. It's okay, Yuri. It's okay. Just take your time. There's no rush. She nods.
I imagine you probably have a few questions you want to ask.
There's no point in trying to beat around the bush then. Yeah, there are. I went to how direct the sound was. Then again, I am really curious, so I can't exactly win either way, can I? She takes a deep breath.
What would you like to know?
Oh boy, where to even begin? How long has this been? How long has she been an orphan for? When did she start cutting? There's so many choices. It's probably best to start with an understanding of her self-harm though. Well, why do you do it? She closes her eyes and slowly lets out a breath, then out her nose. She's still closing her eyes as she talks.
It's a way of coping.
Huh?
It's how I deal with the sadness and my self-loathing within.
Self-loathing?
People have never liked me, Curly. All through my life, I've never been accepted. People never understood me, nor did they take the time to try to. I've never been particularly sociable, as you can see. I much prefer to keep to myself.
Of course.
Now that alone wouldn't be too bad.
Some people misread the introversion, but combined with my fascination with horror and knife collecting hobby, these people combined then to make me see me as a creep or a freak or an outcast. The quiet girl in the back who doesn't speak much. The girl who's fascinated by mockery. It's no wonder they judge me. Anyway, so that's why. She takes a few deep, shaky breaths in an attempt to calm herself down. I didn't realize how difficult this must have been for you. I'm so sorry. The angry look on her face startles me. No. Don't you ever apologize for my own shortcomings, Curly. I deserve to be weak. But you don't. Why would you ever think that?
Because, like I said, I was always judged for who I was.
Initially, I thought I was everyone who else was wrong. She laughs bitterly.
Oh, such arrogance.
No, it wasn't them who were wrong. It was me. But if it were just the one person who judged me in such a way, well, I wouldn't be inclined to believe it. But it wasn't just one person. It was everyone. There gets to a point where you finally realize it's not them who the problem is. It's you.
It was bad, but I could deal with it because I at least had my parents to help me.
Given I'm the first person who knows of her self-harm, does that mean I'm reading as if by reading my mind, Yuri answered that very question?
No, not even my parents knew. And that's when it began.
I hated keeping myself harmed from them. I didn't want them to know. It scared me enough as it was, and I couldn't imagine how much it would scare them. I was terrified when I first tried it. I remember the day I started. Some other students mocked me restlessly because I studied so much in class reading. I always used to dread reading aloud, and I remember at lunchtime, I locked myself in the bathroom stalls. I didn't mean to cut myself, I was just admiring one of the knives. Despite being a constant reminder of what's wrong with me, just holding something dear to me was comforting. I gripped it too hard, and that's when I discovered it. The rush that it felt like a perfect release. It was tangible, but it was also terrifying. It felt so good, having a physical relief, but I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I had done. I felt like such a freak. I don't know what to say. Words are beyond me at this point. How am I even meant to reply by hearing this? My parents were the only ones who could ever accept me for what I was. Even though they didn't know about my self-harm, they never judged me for my taste in literature, nor did they question my interest in knives. While in school was torment, I sought solace, in knowing that no matter how bad it would get, I was safe at home. Fresh tears trickled down their faces once more, until they died. And just like that, I had lost them, the only support I ever had. I reach out to brush Yuri's tears. She doesn't move, or do anything else to acknowledge that I'm even there. Throughout her heart-wrenching explanation, Yuri had been trying to maintain control over her voice and face. The stuttering, pained expression that occasionally flickered over her features showed all I needed to know. As I scoop her into my arms, the dam she's been trying so hard to contain finally bursts. She sobs unrestrained into my chest. Her anguished cries fill the room. I missed him so much, Curly. My vision is blurry as she's drenched in the front of my shirt. I can physically feel her cries on my chest, right next to my heart.
I want to see them again. I want to stop pretending that the person in my arms right now is my dad. There isn't anything I'd give to hear them ask me how my day was, even if it was awful. Anything at all. Please.
My brain is in a frenzy. Say something, Curly. Yuri, it's going to be okay. You're not alone anymore. I'm here with you. And I'm never going to leave. I promise. She looks up with me with big purple eyes.
You really mean that? Because I don't know what I'd do if I lost you as well, Curly.
Of course I mean it. I swear on it. You're my girlfriend and I love you. Even after everything I just told you? She gestured miserably to her wrist.
Even with these?
The venomous disdain in her voice frightened me to hear I wasn't even assured and capable of such scorn and negativity. I'm gonna save it. I think I'm closing out right now. Which includes everything you hate about yourself. Scars or not, you're my girlfriend and nothing is going to change that.
Oh, Curly.
A strange look comes over her face with the breathing grows ragged as fast-paced. Yuri? Are you okay?
Sorry, there's so much to take in.
Her hand started to dart to her wrist. In an instant, I realized the situation we're in. Yuri, stay with me, please.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Focus on my voice. Look at me. When she's filled with over emotion, when she's filled with a lot of emotion, it's not positive. It's positive, negative, anything. When she's filled with emotion, she cuts herself. It's not just negative. It's not just negativity. It's not just if she's bullied. It's filled with just a bunch of emotion when it's too intense for her. That's when she cuts herself. I'm doing my absolute best not to descend into an utter state of panic for both of our sakes. I can't let her start cutting herself. She tentatively starts scratching at the flesh of her wrists. It starts off slow and quickly grows into a frequently intensity. In desperation, I reach for her hand. Yuri, just talk to me. Say something, anything. What's going on in your mind? I'm not sure if asking her to describe the urge is going to help it, but actually become harmful. But I'm finding it hard to think straight and think my tiny voice for reason in my head telling me that distracting her and forcing her to talk is the right thing to do. I need a release. Whenever I feel like this, she tries to wrench her hand free from my grip, but there's no way she's getting free. I tilt her head up so that she makes eye contact with me. My body needs pain. I need the control. The cutting, it helps me make a sense of everything. Sense of everything? She swallows in, her eyes focus on mine. The physical pain is something that tangible that I can actually feel. Something that I can make sense of. When I feel emotionally overwhelmed, I feel so powerless. The cutting helps me regain that control that I desperately need. It sounds really, I know, crazy, but it helps me feel alive. When I'm so mentally overwhelmed like this, the numbness is without mercy. So I need something to focus on. and that's exactly what the pain serves as. But why do you have to use a blade? Can't you just, I know, pinch yourself or scratch? You have no idea what the urge is like, Curly. My whole body screams for that release. Scratching and pinching would just never satisfy the urge. Yuri breathes. If I think I'm right, and I mostly sometimes am right, I think I know what's about to go on. Hey, welcome back to the stream. Okay. Yuri likes cutting herself, and that's not a pleasant thing to know, but I think I might know a way to help you. Yuri's breathing slowly and grows more irregular. She's no longer trying to wrench her hand free from my grasp, so I attentively let her go, although I remain close, anticipating another attempt. I've never been in the position where I have to cut or had the urge to cut when I'm around someone else. Do you still feel like the need to cut? Yes, but it's a lot more manageable now. I think I'll be okay. My God, am I relieved to hear that. I had no idea how to deal with this. I told you I was a freak. You're not a freak. You just been through a lot, okay? And cutting happens to be how you deal with your trauma. It's hardly a healthy coping mechanism though, is it? Well, no it isn't. That doesn't even need to be said. Okay, so yeah, it isn't a healthy way to cope, but either way, I'm just glad you told me. Why are you glad, Curly? And more importantly, how could you think I'm not a freak? I don't know. I don't know why I don't see you as freakish behavior at all. It makes me sad, sure, but it doesn't creep me out. Plus, I like to think I have an open mind, you know? Yuri smiles ruefully at my words. You remind me a little bit of my father. He was the one who introduced me to knives, back when I was just a little girl. As eager as I was to learn about self-harm, I'm grateful that this opportunity to discuss something else. The incident just now was just staggering. What were your parents like? Oh, they were wonderful. I couldn't have asked for better. You never told me how you first got into horror. It's a guess, but was it your parents introduced you to genre? After everything that happened so far today, the genuine smile on her face is a true sight to behold. How did you know? I'm psychic. Kidding. I'm just very intuitive. I just had an idea. Why don't you tell me more about them over a nice cup of tea? I don't know about you, but I'm definitely in the mood for a hot drink. I like that a lot. Awesome, let's get started then. As I was hoping the change of the topic combined with the relaxing tea has helped me with the bring sense of a normality to the day. Of course, the after effects of the morning still lingering in the air. Yuri's still on edge, but we're at least able to work around it. Funnily enough. So, great news. We finally kissed Yuri, but we found out she likes cutting herself. So, it's a WL situation right now. And I'm kind of in like fucked mode because that shit was not the sight to behold. Like fuckery, shit, and fuck. I can only imagine if I was doing Sayori what this shit would be. Kinda interested. But we're gonna leave that for a different stream. Man, oh man. Yeah, that's for sure. Funnily enough, me getting a chance into horror actually stemmed completely from chance. What do you mean? Well, one day both of my parents were out, and it was a rainy day, so I couldn't go outside. Let me tell you, that cutting yourself is an L. Because, bro, do you understand that we now have to deal with that? And it's a pretty overwhelming thing. As much as I want to be able to fix it, I don't know how to. So, it's going to be quite the journey. But, you know what? We've got all the time in the world. Well, one day both of my parents were out. It was a rainy day, so I couldn't go outside. Naturally, I was confined to the house. I was running around and looking for something to read. I happened to find a copy of an old ghost story that my father left out and immediately started reading it. Given that it was a book for adults, I didn't really understand what was going on, but I was able to get the general gist. When my parents came back, my dad was surprised to see me reading it. He clearly didn't expect me that I'd like it. I remember how my mother scolded him for being so careless. She didn't like the idea of her young daughter reading such a dark tale. Phew. I remember he pretended to be apologetic, but when she was out of sight, he eagerly asked me what he made of the story so far. It was so obvious that I didn't really understand, so he offered to read it with me, helping me out with more complex words, explaining the story as it progressed.
So, what was the story about? Must be pretty good if you remembered it so well.
You see, it was about an old Victorian tale about a young governor who was sent to look after their family's young children after their summit home. And there it is, the passionate fire in her eyes. The kind of fervor. I don't know how that says, but I speak English no good. Only seen when Yuri talks about the interest and she holds to her. How someone could ever shame someone for such a passionate. It sickens me to the world has cruel people. Fucking read. She begins to see figures of an old man and woman around the house, but the servants around the house deny seeing such figures. Soon the governess learns that her predecessors used to have a relationship with another employee, and before these two died, they spent much time together with the children. Given that these figures seem to come and go at will, and haven't been seen by others employees, she quickly suspects that they are supernatural in nature. I can't quite remember the ending, but, well, I'll never forget is the clever writing. We as readers are never given any concrete answers as to these figures are real or merely figments of her imagination. Was the governess just hallucinating, or are the ghosts real people on the prowl around the house? Sounds like to me they just imagining it, to be honest. Although it does seem kind of coincidental how the ghosts seem to be perfectly matching the profiles of predecessor and her lover. Indeed. What's more is that her young boy was revealed to have been expelled, and it's heavily hinted that what he did to earn such a punishment was of terrible nature, which such suspicious outlook in the natural that the reader doubts that the children claims of innocence, especially when the governess asks if they saw the figures too. Ghostly apparitions, creepy, suspicious children. I feel the hair on my back raise stand up. Yeesh. From Yuri's description, it sounds something exceptionally griping. There's a dreamy tone in Yuri's voice as she speaks, though. And I remember my father encouraged me to question whether the ghosts were real or not. As a child, I took the things at face value. The governess saw them, so she had to believe it. But he taught me how to approach things from a different angle, how to consider other viewpoints in turn, helped broaden my appreciation for such clever writing. And due to this day, I still wonder if the ghosts were real.
So your analytical came from your dad?
I suppose you could say that. He was always methodical and organized in nature, so it's a given his personality rubbed off on me. I think he'd be really proud of you, Yuri. If only he could see you now. Tears slowly leak on Yuri's face once more. Would he? I hit so much for him. I pulled her close to me, tenderly caressing her cheek with my hands. We all have our demons, Yuri. Everyone has things they regret, and things they don't want other people to know. To hell with other people if they judge you for the things you like or not, because I love your characteristics. Even if you hate them, I love them. They make you who you are. If you enjoy horror, if you enjoy collecting knives, who has any right to shame you for it?
Fuck them!
They don't know any better. She gives me a watery smile. Thank you, Curly. You do really mean so much to me, and I'm so glad that we met. Having someone like you in my life is, I can't describe it in words.
Wowie, must be tough that even you can't describe it.
Yuri makes it sound like a mix of laughter and a sob. Hey Yuri. Yes, Curly? If you don't mind me asking, when did your parents, It's okay, you don't have to answer. Last February. It was a car crash. Ah, right. I'm so sorry. It was probably insensitive for me to even ask. It wasn't. I've been keeping a lot of things from you, so it's only fair that I should stop doing that. After all, you are my boyfriend now.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are indeed.
It still feels strange for you to say that, but not in a bad way though.
I feel exactly the same way you know.
I still try to find it hard for such a beautiful, intelligent girl for me, to fall for me. Fudge! I must be the luckiest guy on the planet. Don't be so silly, Curly. You have such a big heart. Any girl would be lucky to have you. To be honest, I'm surprised that you and Sayori.
Sayori and I?
Yes, well, given you were childhood friends, I imagine you would have gotten together with her after seeing her again. She would have been a much better girlfriend too.
Hey, look at me.
It takes a little bit of coaxing, but eventually she reluctantly makes eye contact. Sayori will always be a wonderful friend of mine, yes, and we have history together. But I'm not living in the past. Jesus. You and I have a special kind of connection that I can't explain. There's something about that you drew me in all those months ago. But she's so happy and energetic and bubbly. Wouldn't you rather have a girl like that instead of a broken, miserable mess like me?
I shake my head.
That's not how I see things, Yuri. Surprisingly, she doesn't back down. Answer the question, Curly. I stare at her, both confused and surprised.
I'd rather have you.
Even though I'm an ugly freak with these horrible scars all over me?
Ah, she's beautiful. You're beautiful? Yes, she's beautiful. Alright, good job. Good looks, good looks, good looks.
Yuri, either with or without your scars, you're beautiful. And nothing will ever change that, okay? No one will ever be able to convince me otherwise. I chose you for a reason. Never forget that. Oh no, it's not that easy.
I know it isn't. Just try to remember, okay?
I'll try my best, Curly.
You don't look particularly convinced.
It's not that I doubt your integrity of your words. I just spent my entire life feeling this way, so as much as your words are the breath of fresh air, it's one thing to hear them, but another entirely thing to internalize them. I'll be with you for as long as it takes. She closes her eyes and squeezes my hands. Hearing that makes me more than you could ever imagine.
Oh, it says means. Fudge. Hearing that means more than you could ever imagine.
Anyway, the sound of my stomach loudly gurgling fills the room.
Wow, amazing timing, Curly.
My bad. Hew. It's okay. I suppose it's a good time to make some food, don't you think?
Are you sure?
Yes, I think it'll return to normalcy if we do you good.
Ah, well, that makes sense.
I did find a dish online a few days ago that I wanted to try. Do you have any daikon by any chance?
I wouldn't even know where to start cooking with daikon radishes.
I'll take that as a no then. I think the grocery store has some.
Lead the way.
By the way, Curly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening to me. It was daunting to share my self-harm with another person. After bottling in love for so long, I was scared how would you react.
I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
No, of course not. You've been really understanding, but most importantly, accepting. And that's what I love about you. How tolerant you are. Well, that and many other things, Hugh.
Well, I rub the back of my head in embarrassment. Yuri smiles bashfully at me.
Sorry, I'll stop embarrassing you now. Let's go.
Such a cute animation. I'm gonna save it. Oh Lord, what a way this episode took a turn. This should definitely amazing. So much stuff is going on. It's Monday. God, I've never hated a Monday more than today. How am I supposed to focus on classwork after everything that happened last weekend? Why can't I just stay home with Yuri all day? I just want to cuddle under the covers with her and talk with her until I can truly understand her. Well, technically I could do that, but Yuri definitely wouldn't spring for it. Knowing her, she'd balk
She'd balk at the thought of missing school. Despite having all of these problems and bullies to deal with, actually, it's kind of strange how she never misses school. Even if she's a total bookworm, she still got to feel at least some kind of reluctance, right? Especially on her bad days, or on days when the bullies come after her. Fortunately, the bullies only target her when she's alone, and between Club and I and Yuri, she's not alone anymore. But even if the bullies are taken out of the equation, it still can't be easy to go to school sometimes. If my unwillingness can be strong on exam days, how much she feel on certain days? She said that she cuts when she's feeling overwhelmed. Don't tell me she at school. Damn it, Curly. Stop thinking like this. Stop doubting Yuri. But aren't I right to make sure Yuri's okay? In this doubt well placed? Maybe doubt is the wrong word. After all, I'm just genuinely worried about her mental state, that's all. How can I not after seeing her arm like that? And I don't even know if she cuts anywhere else other than her body. She's gotta have done that, right? There's so much more you can cut other than a single arm. Bury my face, I sigh. Why do I fuck? Why do I suddenly feel so guilty about thinking these things? I don't want to change how I see her, but at the same time, I just can't help it. Do I just ignore it and try to treat her normally? But I still have to be careful not tricking an episode. At the same time, I don't want to expect she cuts 24/7. She doesn't do that, does she? I don't even know how often she harms herself. Obviously, she can't do it while she's talking to someone, but when she's alone... Well, she's only said that she does it when her feelings come to her head, though. A freak, she calls herself. A freak. I have to wonder, did she start calling herself on her own? Or did she internalize those words?
Sleeping again, Curly.
Not this time, I swear.
To see that I don't catch you sleeping anymore, young man.
You got it.
I did notice that you were zoned out the whole day, though. Anything up with you?
Nah, not really. Just thinking about stuff. By the way, what would you define a freak?
Why are you asking all of a sudden?
Just answer the question.
I guess a freak is a person who's abnormal.
That's it? But can't you say that I'm a freak then? If, for instance, I watch anime more than the average person.
Well, no. A freak is abnormal in a grotesque kind of way. That is, if you call someone a freak, you mean it in a spiraled manner. There are loads of different definitions you could use, so kind of context for it. Why? Is someone bullying you?
Shiori's tone suddenly sharpens into a more serious one. No, but thank you for your concern. She immediately relaxes after that. That's why we elected her as the class representative. She genuinely cares about the class. I'm just wondering.
If you ever need to think out loud, I'll be here. That's my duty as class rep. No, as your friend.
Thanks. If we were in the same class next term, I'll be sure to vote for you again.
Thanks. Are you heading to the literary club afterwards?
Yep. What are you doing after school?
I'm in the kendo club.
Dang. I know you're part of a club, but I didn't know you did kendo too.
I may be short, but I'm pretty good at it, if I do say so myself. I'm trying to climb up the ranks of my club. With any luck, I'll be a captain at the end of the year. It'd be a dream to become the ultimate swordsman.
Given how passionate you are about it, I'm sure you will. The bell rings, interrupting our conversation.
Speaking of which, I gotta go. See ya, Curly.
Have fun. My thoughts turn towards Yuri again as I leave the classroom. Hopefully, it's not too much if I continue talking to her about everything. It should be released for her, right? Or at least I hope so. Curly. Yuri's waiting for me outside his usual spot. Hey, wanna get going? Of course. We walk inside in silence for a bit. It's like Yuri's secret's weighing down heavily on us. Or on me, at least. I don't know if the events on this weekend are on her mind as well. Maybe I'm just the only one who's making it weird. I gotta snap out of this and just line the mood a bit. Looking forward to the literature club? As much as any other day, I suppose. Why, is there something special coming today? No, it just feels that it's a normal day to go to the club. Like, after what happened on the weekend? God damn it, Curly, you just can't retell me to the fucking subject. Well, I felt like things would change, but here we are, doing the same thing as usual. Not that doing anything's bad. Sorry for constantly talking about this stuff.
No, it's fine. It's only natural if you want to know more about everything.
However, not all change is necessarily bad.
For instance, it's being able to share these feelings with someone.
Yuri brushes her hand against mine, causing me to grab it. Yeah, I'm definitely glad that change happened. We arrived to the club and stepped inside. For once, it seems like Yuri and I are the last ones. To step into the club.
Well, Lucas, the Loveboys are late. Had a secret try on your way over here?
A blush spreads on Yuri's face that makes me feel embarrassed. No. Besides, we're not even late.
Thou don't protest too much, Metkists.
Save it, Shakespeare.
That is from Shakespeare, actually. Hamlet, to be specific.
Trusting Yuri to know every single literature reference there is. Don't tell me we're gonna start a unit of Shakespeare at the club now.
Don't worry, I wouldn't inflict that much on you guys. Not right now, at least. I
can tell she's being serious or not.
Anyway, now that everyone's here, we can start our meeting.
Natsuki saw Yuri pop out of the closet to join us. I guess that Yuri was helping reorganize Natsuki's manga or something.
Girly, Yuri, you're finally here!
Finally? What's that supposed to mean?
Obviously, it means that you two are slowpokes.
How many times am I gonna have to say this? We weren't late.
All in good fun, Curly. So what did everybody do this weekend?
The weekend. It's kind of surreal to think about the people were going about their days of normally, while Yuri and I were talking about such dark subject matters.
Homework and manga for me.
Sounds about right.
I had to do some part-time work too.
Oh, what kind of work you do?
I bet it was something cute like a waitress job or a maid cafe. What? Who do you think I am? It was, this and that. Sorry, what did you do?
Guess she didn't want to talk about it. Gave her son and changed the subject. Maybe she really does work at a maid cafe.
I caught up on sleep.
Sayori, you sleep every day. There's no way you need to catch up on sleep.
Meanie, you can't just never let me sleep, can you? I definitely can relate to that. I never have enough sleep myself.
She sighs with a weary smile on her face.
Not only do I have cram school and tennis practice every day, but I also have to deal with class rep and club duties.
Jeez, humble brag much? Don't you ever have time to yourself?
Free time? To be honest, I'm busy so often it's kind of a foreign concept to me. That's what I get for signing up to do so many things, though.
It can be truly surprising what a single person is capable of.
Oh, that's just an exaggeration. There are a lot of downsides to this kind of lifestyle.
Monica's face visibly falls. It kind of sounds like a hellish time for me. Does she even want to hang out with friends outside of school?
Enough about me. What did you do, Yuri?
Yuri gives me a pleading look. Yuri and I just hung out over the weekend. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Wow, what a lovely couple. What a lovey-dovey couple you guys are. Thank you for receiving the PDA for the weekend.
Natsuki, pantomimes barfing. What? What does that even say? Pantomimes? Barfing causing Sayori to giggle. When you guys started dating, I'm going to return all the teasing tenfold. Isn't that right, Yuri?
Hew.
I suppose so.
Well, looks like we all have some supremely exciting lives, huh? We're really living on the edge, alright. How about we keep up the excitement by sharing our poetry now?
Crap, I totally forgot to write a poem. Hold on, I kinda have to talk to Yuri in private real quick. Yuri shoots me a curious look.
Alright. We can just...
It might be a long conversation, so you guys can go up and share poems first.
Is everyone okay with that, Yuri?
Everyone nods in affirmation.
Okay, don't take long then.
You bet I'm gonna take long as possible. Alright, come on Yuri, let's step out for a bit.
So what did you want to talk to me about?
Oh, well, to be honest, I needed a distraction because I forgot to write my poem.
Curly.
Sorry, wait, don't go back in. Yuri sighs and smile patronizingly. Thanks for putting up with me, and I think about it. There's something I wanted to talk to you about anyway. I actually thought about it in a conversation back inside, but Yuri, are you going to tell the others about your self-harm?
No.
She immediately panics as my question. I didn't mean right now. I'm sorry, I just meant eventually when you're comfortable, of course.
I see. I'm sorry, Curly, but I don't know if I'll be ever to tell anybody else about about it in the future.
Why not? Wouldn't you tell them if you're their friends going on your life? They can provide much support as I do, only multiplied by 4.
No.
No? Yuri looks down at the ground and not meeting my eyes.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to stand it if they started treating me differently. Can't things just stay the same, please?
Yuri, you even said it yourself.
Fuck!
You even said it yourself. Sometimes change is necessary.
I didn't say that. I said change isn't necessarily bad, but in this case, it's neither necessary nor positive. All it would do is change how the others see me.
But how can you? Well, get better without people supporting you by your side.
Look, Curly, even you see me differently now. Don't try to argue otherwise, it's only going to be expected. I know you're trying your best.
Yuri,
Please, just let this matter go.
Alright, if you're not comfortable with talking about it, I won't force you to.
Thank you. Now if you'll excuse me.
She slides open the door and slips through. I can't help but feel a conversation that will turn up to later. At least, she'll know where I'll stand on the subject. Of course, it's difficult for me to understand her point of view sometimes, but I really do think she should confide herself to others. For now though, I guess I have to figure herself for forgetting my poem. I wonder what I said! I'm very curious. This has gotten so much more interactive and so much more intriguing. It's crazy to think how time flies. It seemed like yesterday I found out about Yuri's self-harming tendencies, and I'm absently minded. Yes, brother, I enjoyed it. Thank you for the recommendation. Thank you for helping me get it on. But you did it's an amazing mod. It's so fucking fire, brother. As I'm absent-mindedly thumbing through my phone once again, I'm reminded that February's already started. The past few weeks felt like they haven't really happened at all. Well, I guess not strictly true. I mean, yeah, in many ways, life remained the same. We're still a couple, school hasn't changed, and we still go to the literature club. But despite the apparent normality, things feel a little different for some reason, I guess. A pang of anxiety shoots through me. I don't think I'll ever get that scene out of my head when I first saw her raise her hand and blood on the floor. Even after a few weeks, the image still burned into my mind. The other girls are still oblivious, and Yuri's stance on whether or not she should tell them hasn't changed at all. I sighed, weirdly rubbing my head through my hair. What am I meant to do? Perhaps I should. One day, my phone will stop interrupting when I'm in deep thought. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Curly. It's been so long.
It really has, hasn't it? When's the last time we talked?
My goodness, I think it was before Halloween. That means it's been around 3 months. Jeez.
Anyway, what's new?
Ooh, actually, what about Yuri? Are you guys together yet?
Well, I can practically hear the anticipation through her phone screen. Yes, we are.
I had a feeling you'd tell me that. Look at you, my little prince all grown up.
Mom, really? Little prince?
Aw, sorry. Just from another mother's perspective. Well, your son's first girlfriend is big news. I can't wait to meet her.
You only get to meet her after you promise not to embarrass her when she's over, okay?
I can't make any promises.
I roll my eyes and I can practically see the smug smirk on her face, even though we're hundreds of miles apart. Anyway, oh yeah, December exam results.
Ooh, yes, I hope you studied hard and got the grades you needed, young man.
Hey, sometimes you just need a little bit of mom love, you know? Don't worry, I did just fine. Sakura gave me results last week, and he was pretty impressed. To be honest, I was pretty surprised myself. Overall, I did well, but I really aced Japanese history and English.
That's excellent to hear, sweetheart. Well done.
A small laugh filters through the phone speaker. What's so funny? I just remember you saying that Yuri's a big fan of literature and she constantly is reading books, right? Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you guys discuss books? Well, then it's clear that she's rubbing off on you. Seems like she's really helped you appreciate literature more, making analytics more thoroughly yourself. Clearly, it's showing in your grades. Really? I never even thought about that. Does it happen in every relationship? Hard to say, really. It's definitely common, though. You spend so much time with your partner that you subconsciously start copying their mannerisms and tendencies. And that may be useful, especially now. Why? Is Valentine's Day coming soon, Curly? If her personality is rubbing off on you, you might find it easier to think of something special for her. I totally forgot about Valentine's Day. On the year that you get a girlfriend, you forget about Valentine's Day, huh? When you put it like that, it sure makes it a little logical, huh? Well, it's not for a week, so I got some time. Don't dawdle, sweetheart. You'll be amazed how quickly that week will zip by. Okay, I get it. I'll think of something. Anyway, what have you been up to? Given that you've been really busy since you called, I imagine work must be really busy. There's a side on the other end. Yes, you're right. Clients have been so demanding the last few weeks. New projects, new technologies, new strategies. I'll be so glad when this business quarter is over. New technologies and strategies. What do you mean? Well, I won't bore you with any of the finer details. Basically, our company has rolled out a new app. We're supposed to be talking about our clients submit this boost communication efficiency. The only problem is it's not exactly intuitive. Rather the opposite. There's not been much company training on how to use it. So we basically had to do our own research on how it works. It's tedious, but better to not knowing than what you don't know, I suppose. Anyway, unfortunately I have to go, sweetheart. It was lovely catching up with you again, and I promise it won't be so long until we talk next, okay? It's fine, Mom. You've really been working hard, so don't worry about it. Well, I'll see what I can do. Huh? About what? Oh, nothing. Forget I said anything. Bye, Curly. I love you. Love you too, Mom. As I put my phone back in my pocket, my mother's words continue to swirl around my head. We've had to do our own research on how it works. Maybe. Of course, the answer's right there. Why didn't I research self-harm on the internet before? Man, that could be really dumb sometimes. Either way, it's probably best that I research that with Yuri. After all, it does concern her, right? Phone in hand, I click my meager contacts and then I click her name. Look how cute the little freaking picture is.
Hello, Curly. What are you up to?
Not much. Hey, you mind if I come over?
You want to come over to my house?
Yeah, is that alright?
Yes, I suppose so. I'll see you soon then.
Huh? So, it's my first time going over to her house then. This is the first time it's ever happened after knowing each other for months. After exchanging a kiss, I take a seat on the bed. Right next to Yuri, she's blushing slightly. You know, your bed looks exactly how I imagined it would.
What do you mean?
It just looks elegantly tidy. Much like you. And of course, only you would have a huge bookshelf right next to your bed. How many times have you tried to reach over the bookshelf and snuggled under the sheets? She smiles bashfully and never stops heartwarming.
Maybe a few times. By the way, Curly. Would you like to see my
Get your mind out of the gutter. You're what? I'm painfully aware of the suggestive tone that this conversation has suddenly adopted. Judging by the furious blushing on Yuri's face, it's safe to say I'm not the only one.
Although you probably think it's really weird.
Wait, are we thinking of different things? One day, me bucko, one day. She reaches towards her desk and pulls out a medium-sized black box.
Well, you remember I said I had a knife collection, right?
A wave of understanding washes over me. I have to fight the urge to laugh at myself. My god, situation could have made a million times more awkward.
Oh, you want to show me your knives? You're not weirded out by it, right?
Nah. At one point, I was tempted to get you a knife at Christmas, but I figured you already had a few. Besides, I don't know what types of knives you like. I'm kind of curious, to be honest. I've never met someone who collects them. So yeah, go ahead. Apprehension is still visible on her face, but after swallowing nervousness, she opens the lid. Wow. You weren't kidding, were you? You have quite the collection.
Sorry, I know you must be weirded out. I don't even know why I suggested it.
She moves the lid and snaps the lid shut, but I reach out and gently grab her hands. Surprise flicker crosses her feature as she looks at me as if I closely I can detect the shame in her eyes. It's not weird at all. I accepted for who you are a long time ago, Yuri. So please don't feel ashamed. Plus, I really want to see these knives of yours.
Really?
I smile and reassuringly her. Yes.
If you're sure.
She gingerly reopens the book and pulls out a small knife. Is this one a dagger? Looks too small to be a knife.
It is indeed.
This one comes from the 18th century of Spain, if I recall. Spanish, huh? Interesting. I slowly take the dagger from her, and Yuri holds it in my hand. The hilt is silver, and the blade comes with a golden sheath. Carefully, I unsheath it. This one isn't particularly sharp, but I would still recommend exercising with caution. I turn it over in my hands. It's not exactly a large weapon, but the craftsmanship is undeniable. During the Renaissance age, a dagger such as this was actually used to part as everyday dress. In fact, daggers were the only weapon that commoners were permitted to carry. The daggers were very popular in Spain. It's referred to the Hice daga puñal. And yes, I did say that Hispanically because I am part Hispanic. Hice daga puñal. I don't know if I said that right, but if I did it, my bad. I sheathe the knife and hand it back to Yuri, who puts it back into the box. You really know your stuff, huh? It's really admirable how intelligent you are. Book, science, knives. Is there any limit to your knowledge? She blushes and averts her eyes in the box.
You're too kind, Curly.
Her eyes drawn to a rather large curved knife. It sits in the middle of the box. Wow, this one has a really cool shape. As you move away from the base of the blade, it curves to the side, to a point where the head is very difficult angle. Ah, this one is a fascinating history. Her face is lit up with a passionate flare behind it. It's a type of fervor that only happens when she looks at a book. It's actually called the kukri, and it's the icon of Nepal. Do you see how the head blade has its angle? This gives the kukri an immense chopping power. You see, it isn't a knife designed to stab and slice, although you could still if you tried to. The head of the weight of the blade means it's very effective at cutting through flesh, and in fact, it's even able to chop off limbs. Why do you have this? I think I know a few fictional characters who love to use this weapon, but this one is with a little notch above the handle, you know. Essentially, it's to stop the blood from dripping onto the user's hand. That would make the handle slippery and impractical. Man, I had no idea so much thought went into the design of these things. To me, knives are just simple cutting tools we use with a sharp edge. Guess it goes to show how much I know. I don't blame you for thinking like that. An interest in knives hardly is the norm, so it's giving you that wouldn't have that much understanding to them. She holds the kukri up and down and turns it around in her hands. From her expression, it's clear that she's admiring the blade. I'll admit that it was a little unusual. After all, if someone told me that one day I'd be looking at my girlfriend admiring a dangerous weapon, I would not believe them. But being with Yuri, it's opened my eyes. It's helped me see that people have a variety of interests. In a way, it's refreshing to see such a unique person. What is it about knives that you like so much? I remember you talked about it a long time ago, but I can't remember what you said. There are many reasons, some of which make more reasons than others, I suppose. They start with a simple reason, the craftsmanship. An untold number of hours go into creating knives as you see them. The weight, the feel, the sharpness, the length, the design, and the color. There's also the rather dark association with the knives. Curly, am I wrong in thinking that there's something inherently fascinating about the macabre? We're taught to fear the darkness, but there's something so intriguing about it. You know, if I think about it, I can see what you mean. Like if we take Halloween for example. It's pretty much a festival dedicated to the dead, correct? Yet, it's pretty commercialized, but I've always enjoyed it. Telling ghost stories, scaring each other, seeing all the gruesome costumes people wear. Yuri nods in earnest.
Fear is such an enigma. Different people have fears in different things. Some people love horror movies, yet some balk at the very thought. And when it comes to knives, well, you only need to look at the world as you see them when the knife has a reputation, you know? And knives never judged you.
Have you ever used a knife to cut yourself? Fuck! I immediately berate myself as it sounded less insensitive in my head. I'm surprised you even asked that. You have so many, and I thought these look sharp. Well, they're really big, and they're sharp. Yuri, stay silent. I'm just worried about you, that's all. More silence is growing uncomfortable by the second. I know you are, Curly, and it means a lot to me that you care. I was so afraid that you'd break up with me once you saw the scars. Break up with you? No, of course not. If anything, it made me want to be with you more. Why? Well, I want to see you get better. And actually, I want to do some research with self-harm with you. I look at therapy options. That won't be necessary. The finality in Yuri's voices stops me dead. I've only heard such assertive voice maybe once. Why not? Because I don't want to go to therapy. Don't you want to stop cutting? Self-harming is the only way I've ever known how to deal with my issues. It's the only way I've been able to express myself. But we both know it's not a healthy way to deal with your feelings, Yuri. What if you cut too deeply? I don't know, cut a vein or something. I won't. I know which places are safe to cut and which specifics are areas to avoid. That doesn't make me feel much better, you know. I'm sorry. She sighs deeply. To be honest, I knew that eventually you'd ask me to try therapy. I know it's probably hard for you to see me like this, but for me, it's really not that simple. Then help me understand, please. If I must, although I warn you, you're not going to understand it at all. Anyway, she reaches into the box and takes out a silver knife. As she speaks, she rolls it between her fingers, taking utmost care not to accidentally cut herself. Like I said, self-harming has been the only way I've ever been to deal with my feelings. And yes, I know it's maladaptive, but you have to understand that for me, it's like a routine. It may not be good to approach, but it's the only approach I have. And that is the whole point of therapy, to get me to stop harming. In other words, losing the only way I've ever known how to control myself. I simply couldn't imagine another way of dealing with things. Plus, the thought of opening me up to a complete stranger about my innermost insecurities is simply unimaginable. I hid it from my parents. I hid it from you. The only reason you know about my habits is because was simply through chance. There's an awful lot of vulnerability and blind trust to put into some random stranger, don't you think? As much as I hate to admit it, yeah, I can definitely see what she means. It's easy for me to understand. It's easy for me to stand here and ask her to see a therapist, but it's a whole different story for her. If it's consolation, Curly, I don't exactly cut frequently. I won't deny that it still happens, but ever since we started dating, it happens a little less. Really? Yes. Having someone to talk to, someone who's open-minded, who's willing to listen to me ramble on about literature and knives, it does make a difference. She slowly inches her face closely towards mine. It's amazing how much of a difference one person can make. So thank you. She tentatively reaches her arms out for a hug. I comply instantly, pulling her head towards my chest. Yuri, look, I get it. I know you don't want to see a therapist, but can you at least promise you'll think about it? For my sake or for yours? She looks up at me. Curly, please, I'm serious. I know you don't want to, but this isn't something I can ignore. Okay, I promise that I'll at least consider it. But please, don't get your hopes up, okay? Alright, that's all I can ask for now. She nods slowly. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you. Would you like to read the first ghost story I ever read with me? You still got it? Of course. It's one of the strongest reminders that I have my parents. Sadness flickers her features. I'm quick to reply. Of course. Where is it? She motions to her bed, resting snugly in the bookshelf right next to the bed. Even though it's a little sad to think about how the book serves a memory of her dead parents, it's endearing to know that it's close to her bed. Almost like a guardian watch of her as she sleeps. Man, Mom was right. I really do sound like Yuri.
I think that's gonna wrap it up for this time at this episode. We went through quite a bit. Are you guys satisfied for a good stopping point? I don't mind keeping going, but I just want to make sure, y'all, if I do stop here, you know, it'd be a good stopping point, because I feel like everything's like, you know, I don't know how much longer this game is. So I think I'm closing it off within the next episode or two. Like maybe the next time I stream, this might be the last time I play it. So I want to really make sure that, you know, we get a good feel for what's going on. So I think that I'm gonna leave it there for now then. Menu. The stream? Yeah, I was gonna end it here. I could go like for another hour, but I didn't know if you guys wanted to stay around a little bit longer. Should I go 1 more hour or no? That's so sweet. Look, I got one with Yuri. Look at the music. This music is so awesome. So, y'all guys wanted me to go like another hour? I think that's a good stopping point. What do you guys want to do? Because I can go 1 more hour, but that's if you guys want me to. I did say 7. This mod is awesome, yes. Alrighty then. Alright, I guess I'll just I'll end it then. Go ahead to the main menu. Alrighty, yeah. Yeah, I think we got quite a bit done today. A lot of interesting events, a lot of crazy events. But you know what? I think that, you know, I've really enjoyed it so far. That's all that matters. Alrighty. Thank you guys. I love you all. Thank you for checking out the stream. I'll be around, I'd say 4 p.m. tomorrow, same time. So, I'll see you guys then. If anybody ever wants to come check it out, it's always gonna be on my my channel for the rest of the week. If you guys ever miss something, and it's also gonna be on my YouTube channel too. If you ever want to go check it out, I know you prefer it live, but if you ever wanted to see the actual video like beforehand or enjoying it, because I know these like long videos, you might not want to see it all. But you know, I'm gonna try to do my best to make sure they're as fun and interactive as much as they can be. So this is probably end of the live, yeah. So, love you guys. I'm gonna see you tomorrow around 4. Curly Top out.